She said, I've got things in my head that she don't wanna hear nothing about. I've got the things she said in my head. That's what she's about. It's a game and she knows it, and she really likes to play it. It's a game and she knows it. She thinks I like to play it too. I suppose I kinda do. I've done things to her, she's done back to me. 3 or 5 times worse, she's been into me for a while now. About where we've been and gone. It's a game and she knows it, and she really likes to play it. It's a game and she knows it. She thinks I like to play it too. I suppose I kinda do. We've been sharing this space for some time. Hard to look away, find a space in my time and place where I think you can't see me. We've been sharing these eyes for a long time, but we see things differently, you and me. Still share the space inside of me. We're all in here eventually. It's a game and she knows it, and she really likes to play it. It's a game and she knows it. She thinks I like to play it too. She thinks I like to play it too. I suppose I kinda do.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Scungy.
Hi.
I was totally not expecting you to be here already, but you
I
were.
was totally not expecting to be up here.
Oh, do you want me to pull you back down?
Just go quiet, or did my headphones stop working?
I don't know. I just pulled you down as fun,
Well,
but that shouldn't have stopped your headphones working. Can you hear me? I'll take that as a no. Anyway, while she's sorting out her technical difficulties,
I can hear you now.
Right. It's what happens when you try new technology. But, you know, good headsets are worth their weight in strawberry jam, I guess.
No, I just couldn't find my headphones, so I made a quick decision, which is rather out of character, but
So true. So true. James Hukulak, hello to you. First cab off the rank. bucket of kudos in the post to you, James, as is the standard prize for first in the chat. Huawei, love you too, man. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being second too. And Mary Page Flynn. I'm assuming Mary Page has flown by night, leaving a big like. Don't forget to smash that like button, people. Joel G, how are you, buddy? James H says, where is S? And then S says, ooh-wee! A bit off the ball tonight, S. It's like four other people in before you, mate. Slacking. Paddy, how's it going? Ian Atkins, how the devil are you, sir? Donny G, how's it going? Oh, thanks, Huawei. Yeah, I like that song. It's got a tricky bloody guitar part that if I don't practice it on the reg, I can never remember how to play it properly. Seems a familiar story recently.
What song?
I played Her Game today. An old Braille song from the band Braille. That was basically just me and Karen. And the L's in Braille were upside down exclamation marks. Well, that was the idea anyway. G'day, JRP.
I think that as a constructed song, I think it's the best one of all the ones.
Oh, thanks, love. Sergey, hello, how are you? I hope it's pronounced Sergey and not Sergey. I'm assuming most Sergeys say Sergey, don't they? Two Dougs, how are you, Doug? And Doug. BJ, hello there. Vince, how's it going? Looks like Ed's got people into the habit of calling you Scrunge. Who else have I missed? Ball Space. G'day, Ball Space. How are you, buddy? Good to see you in. Long time no stream. Who else did I miss? I don't think I missed anyone. I think I made it to the bottom without any major leaps or missings or anything. So, what's been going on apart from rain, humidity, a little bit more rain, and some heat to mix in with the humidity and the rain?
A little bit of that. Yeah. I spent the morning outside in the rain trying to see what I could do to capture it. But with no success. And yeah. My kids
for those that don't know, Sarah lives in a house that has no mains water from the town. It's all on water tanks, and her entire guttering and piping system is pretty much messed up and does not collect water. Apart from one feeble little pipe that I put in that is still blocked from the gutters. So, not getting a lot of water in your water tanks, which kind of sucks a big bit.
A big bit. And plus, I also have a bore in the ground that I can draw water up from. However, it's also not functioning. A pump is pumping, pump is fine. No water is coming out of the ground, but I'm certain that it's full and plentiful down there, considering how much rain we've been having.
Yeah, the water table should be overflowing.
Yeah. So, but it's all beyond my skills to know what to do about any of that, or beyond my skills to climb up on the roof without a ladder to fix some of the pipes that need fixing.
Yeah, I just wish you had a real estate agent that took a little bit more responsibility for their property.
That'd be nice. That would be
It would. Aquaman, how are you? Welcome. Amazon Research Centre for Ornamental Fishes. Dr. Anthony, how are you? Good to have you in here. First time, I believe. Unless you've snuck in before unnoticed. Who can tell? Yeah, she tried to prime the pump as well, GRB, and it didn't happen. Help it.
Yeah, well, interestingly, so I primed it, so it wasn't pumping up water. I primed it. I poured, a couple of watering cans full of water down it, and it did a pump. And then the next time I went to pump, it wasn't pumping water, and I tried to prime it, and it's not pumping any water. And then I tried another time with much more water, trying to push much more water through it, and it still wouldn't pump anything up.
Yeah, I would hazard to guess that there's probably a crack or a leak somewhere up out of the water line. So it's probably just sucking air instead of sucking water, which is eventually just going to kill the pump anyway.
And I was doing some research. Apparently, there's a bunch of seals and things that could potentially go, that can
In the
cause it
pump
to
itself?
do. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no, somewhere in the line.
Yeah, right.
I don't know about that. But yeah, it seems something that I probably need to get a bore person to come and check out.
That'd be quite thorough as well, because then they could investigate the whole situation. And
Well, they just, yeah, I think it's kind of needed some attention for a while. Anyway,
yeah,
real estate's shit, and it just feels like it's a lot of money for something that is someone else's responsibility.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
Let's chuck a bit of this on.
Hello.
Hey, man, how's it going?
my waving hands off the screen.
Hey. Good to see y'all.
Hey.
How you doing?
Pretty well.
Awesome.
Do you know any good bore people?
Nope. Not at all. I wouldn't trust the bore water near me because of the neighbours and their history with chemicals.
I was going to say they're interesting farming practices.
Yeah. They've got a shed full of rusting chemicals. It's just like forgotten and just it should be cleaned up, but it's not my property, so I can't do it.
Leaking out into the ground and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to get a water sample and test it.
Yeah. But
Well, I'm interested.
Very turn fingers at them.
one of my neighbours reckons their water tastes like peppermint.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was a bit strange. She's further further towards Maynard. She's got a deeper bore than my neighbours, who are doing good things, not my bad neighbours. Oh. So what's your bore's going bad, is it, Sarah?
No, it's just not pumping up any water.
Oh shit, and you rely on that?
Yeah, because even though I have a massive roof and massive rainwater tanks, all the piping to that is all dodgy. When we moved in, it wasn't collecting any rainwater at all from the roof. So all the roof water just pours away. And yeah, so the only thing we've had control over is the bore.
Right.
And we tried, like Mikey dug up one of the broken pipes and fixed it. But but the gutters are also clogged now. So
shit.
It was pouring this morning and it was just trickling out of the pipe.
Oh no.
So I'm like, all this rain and I've got no water. I've got like this much water in my tank.
Oh, and it gets sludgy at the bottom too, doesn't it?
All the feral stuff at the bottom.
Yeah, bacterial load. The bad thing about this situation, Scungy, is that I've noticed a pattern with landlords. When they fix things or they invest back into the properties, they want to either kick out the tenants to do it and also charge more money once they've done the fix up.
That's it. They fix something and then they up the rent.
Yeah. It's not cool.
It's like I live on a property where like I pay like just round it to like half of the rent for the property because my mum lives in the other house that's downstairs.
Yeah.
I alone, since we've lived here, have spent over $100,000 in rent.
Wow.
For the house. And they have fixed fucking jack all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and they do. As when they fixed the pool didn't work for years. It kept going green. All the mechanics and stuff weren't working. Like all the system was faulty.
Yeah.
When they finally fixed it, they upped the rent quite hugely.
That's
It's like
shit.
we're meant to have that the whole time.
That's shit. Oh. I've always thought about this, and I thought, if you've spent more than 10% of the property's value in rent, and this sort of situation sets in, it's kind of like there should be some legal precedence to say the property's now yours, and you've got to give you the power. Like, because if you're going to invest in fixing it, it should be your property. You know what I mean? And they're not fixing it.
There should be something. Like the thing is, I don't even have the legal right to call a repair person unless it's a total emergency, like the pipe in the house has burst and it's Sunday and I can't do anything. Then I'm allowed to call somebody. If I call somebody to fix something, like that actually goes against my lease agreement.
Right.
So I have to go to them and ask them to call somebody, and then they just don't.
But isn't part of the lease agreement too that they are expected to keep the house in proper upkeep and whatnot?
Absolutely. And so I rang up and spoke to the rental tenancy
Authority.
I can't remember what they're called, but it's, they're there to support people with all the legal stuff to do with their lease and everything. And basically what the girl from there told me is she's like, look, you're right. You're in the right. And legally, they have to do this. Legally, they have to do this. You can write to them and you can cite all the points that they're breaking the lease, the terms. And she said, however, at the moment, it's a landlord's market. There are loads of people looking for houses to rent. And she goes, they can't technically, legally just go, oh, you're a problem tenant and kick you out. But she goes, there's loopholes. So what you're doing is you can do that and you're in the right to do that. But they can come around it and end up kicking you out. You're basically jeopardizing your rental by standing up for yourself. And this is the same place. Like I had them guide me through another thing when I had a really bad landlord who used to come to our house and just come when we weren't home and just come in the house and do things.
Yeah.
And then write nasty letters about, when we came to your house, unexpectedly the other day, I can't remember what it was, but they were upset about our dog. They also we had a dog, asked, yes, it's fine. Then they came to the house one day when no one was home, came in and then wrote a nasty letter about you never told us how big your dog was.
Oh, what?
How dare you have a dog that's that big at the house? We came there and we were afraid for ourselves because of the dog.
Wow.
You said we could have a dog?
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been in our house when we weren't home. So, but the thing is, those people, the rental tenancy board people, helped through that situation, helped with telling me all the legal stuff and how to write about it. But this was many years ago. And when I called up this time, I was like, yay, they'll be really supportive and help me. And she was like, oh, everything's changed. And don't stand up for yourself.
Aubrey, how's it going? And welcome to the illustrious Ricardo Montalban.
Hello.
Monty Van. Oh, we're okay. Hot and sweaty and wet.
You're okay? The Scunch Princess is having problems with their landlord?
And water.
Persistent issues.
There's so much water and I've got no water.
She should be
got no order
collecting
or no
megaliters a day, but her guttering system is all shot to shit.
Oh.
Good day, Nola. What about is that one off the corner of the green shed? Is that one still broken too?
Yeah, but no. We've tried to rig it up. It's kind of taped up and resting on a metal pole so it doesn't fall down.
Wow.
Nice.
But that's what we've done to make it
Yeah.
catch some water, because they did send they sent someone to fix that, and he just did the most ridiculous thing to it. It has like you've got the gutter, and then there was a piece of pipe that attached to the gutter and runs straight into the inlet of the tank right near it. It came detached from the gutter, and so he was meant to attach it back up. Instead, what he did was cut a whole bunch of extra pipes and made it go from the gutter out over here and around into the outlet of the tank. And because it's got like this shape of pipe, there's no support. So once it's full of water, it just fell back down again.
Oh no.
But he was just like, he wasn't a proper service person. He was just a dude.
I saw a didgeridoo made out of this hemp plastic the other day. It was really sturdy. I'm thinking, why make gutters out of things that rust? It's retarded. When you could potentially make guttering out of hemp plastic and win a chicken dinner. We you know, someone locally should get onto that, because guttering is a real big important part of our local area.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think you should build that stuff out of hemp for sure, but the problem is getting enough of it grown, and then also the facilities to process it, which the states are starting to do that now, but it's still a ridiculous struggle. It's like,
yeah, it's certainly still early days in the hemp plastic production days.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's certainly going to
like
be
if you're
like
like
come
for
along
instance
well,
in Kentucky, they just this might have been a couple years ago now because of COVID. I have no idea what year it is, but a couple years ago, you could start hemp farming if you got it verified that it was not, you know,
marijuana.
Yeah.
But you could only do 10 acres at a time.
Right.
So you're like, well,
Per person.
hey man, I want to run my farm the way, you know, and they're like, yeah, you can only do 10 acres at a time.
Right.
And like, okay, this is weird. So yeah,
baby steps.
Stuff like that where they're like, yeah, you can do it now, and it's like, but you can only do it at a level that's not sustainable to maintain your business, you know.
Yeah.
So it's still goofy, but we'll get there.
Huawei.
We'll get there,
see you
buddy.
next time, man.
We'll get there. You know, one way or another, we'll force these companies to do it, or not, or we'll just all die in a, you know, climate change disaster.
You know, one can hope for the drastic things to happen, I suppose.
We can't die in a climate change. Oh, I suppose a fair few people are going to die.
Yeah,
that's guaranteed. Yeah.
The famine's going to be the hard part.
Yeah.
Yes, people got to start practicing gardening and growing their own stuff more than they do now.
Well, the unfortunate part is like most of us, we don't live in an area that can sustain agriculturally all year round.
Year round, yeah, true. Yeah,
that's like the big issue. It's like how are you going to do it in the northern hemisphere? What are you going to do? It's snowed today. You can't be growing no tomatoes in the snow, you know. So,
is it then about working on, you know, you got to have all your food preservation stuff down, pickling and.
I mean, it's true. And then somebody's got to make the jars and stuff, you know.
Yeah. But
it's like it's always one of those. It's always one of those weird conversations where I have with the people that are air quote like they're independent or whatever they think they are, you know, and it's like somebody I know that like air quote lives off the land, but every month they come into town and buy like 600 gallons of fuel, right? To run generators and stuff like that, and it's like, how do you think you're living off the land or whatever with all this fuel you're burning every month? You haven't even refined 1 gallon of diesel on your own. How are you going to maintain this lifestyle if somebody isn't pulling crude oil out of the ground, shipping it halfway around the world, and then refining it and then shipping it back. So it's the domino effect of like trying to figure it out and trying to do it on your own. It's like humans just aren't. We're not made to just live on our own off the land.
Can we agree though? Insects are fucking rad, and we've got to stop the pesticides. Like seriously, that's got to stop. The bees are dying out. The flowers are toxic because they're putting pesticides on the crops. They're trying to get almond crops to grow and fertilized by bees, but they're putting pesticides in the environment of the almonds, and the bees are taking the pesticide laden pollen back to the hive, and they're all dying out. It's just stupid. It's absolutely stupid.
So a lot of the hive collapse stuff that's been going on, like, look, I'm not a huge fan of pesticides. So let's just get that straight. But I'm also not a fan. Oh, okay. I'm also not a fan of 50,000 acres worth of crop dying off when we have a mechanism to do something about it, right?
Yeah.
So there is a balancing act, and I don't even know how many bees I have tattooed on me, right? Like I'm a huge fan of bees, and hive collapse syndrome is a big problem. Still
Big
to this
problem
day,
all around the
they
world,
don't know. Still to this day, they don't know like every aspect of what is causing it. A lot of the big things that were happening in similar with Australia to the United States is that bee farmers ship their bees all over the country. You stack up, they'll stack up like 180 hives on a semi and then drive them to where they need to pollinate for 3 weeks. Collect the hives again, then drive them over somewhere else to go pollinate elsewhere. And oftentimes, like a lot of the hives were collapsing, not so much necessarily only because of pesticides, but a lot of it has to do with shipping them around, them being exposed to so many different bacteria throughout the year, and so many situations that they're not designed and ready to handle and deal with. They're quite resilient, but they're not like, they're not magic. They can't just handle all this crazy stuff that humans are doing to them. So, and I've been in like so many debates with people about how air quote evil Monsanto is, and all GMO'd crops and stuff like that. That I think more responsible farming needs to happen in especially in the United States. But it targeting something like pesticides or Monsanto isn't going to do anything when the economic structure is being destroyed one small farm at a time, to the point where there's a small group of companies that are overseeing such vast stretches of land that there's no way that they're responsibly farming. It's just not happening. And there's one anecdotal story that I normally tell people about. The biggest oil spill that ever happened in the United States happened on an active farm. There's one guy who owns 193,000 acres. You get an idea how much that is in your head. That's quite a bit of land. He's the only farmer. He only farms one crop. It's a monocrop wheat farm. And the oil spill was from a pipe, a high pressure oil pipe that was transfers oil through his property, that was just broke open and spraying for however long, until eventually he came to, which by the way, he uses the GPS automated combines to cut the fields.
Right.
So it can be one guy is operating one combine while the 4 other combine follow with nobody on them.
Yeah.
And they came around. They basically came up over a hill and realized that there was a giant, well, a lake of oil.
Wow.
Wow.
And they're like, "Oh, hey, look at this. This is bad, right?" So it's really those types of situations that need to be remedied, especially in the United States. I don't know specifically for Australia, but the farming population in the United States has been declining year after year after year, and we see more giant companies, especially with COVID. What happened with COVID? How many small farms went under? Because there was nothing in place to pick up the pieces for the small farms when, for instance, school districts stopped buying milk
Right.
because the schools were closed. And
Yeah.
they just went like, "Oh, we're just not buying the milk now." And you're like,
Mm.
"Do you not have a contract in place? Like, what's the deal here?" And they're like, "Well, we'll figure it out. It's probably going to take a while for us to figure it out." Like, what? Okay. And they didn't figure it out. And a lot of those farmers sold out to the big corporations that are just going to continue to buy more land. And, the giant corporations can deal with small market swings, big market swings, all that kind of stuff. They're just essentially bulletproof when you own that much, of the pie. It's like they can't go away. And that is what needs to change in my mind, is that these big farms need to be broken up into small farms again.
I put Brendan's message up on the screen before, but I forgot to say good day to Brendan. How are you, old love? Good to see you, man.
And
Vince
some
said
contributing
if only
factors
bees could be altered to be as hardy as cockroaches, we would never have a bee problem again. There's a science project waiting to happen.
Oh, yeah. Well, they are resilient. They just have so much more exposure because they're winged, like they fly as a primary mode of transportation, and they sample. They like variety in their lives. A cockroach is happy feasting on that bag of oats that you left in the cupboard, and it'll do it for generations. Whereas a bee will go, I want diversity of pollen for my hive. So it's scouting all the possible locations. So anywhere where there is toxin, the bees are going to pick it up. So, but I just find that not necessarily tabloid, but mainstream media likes to fixate on singular reasons. I think that's rubbish. Like, it's very small brain. It's always contributing factors, and when we play the blame game and say, this is the problem, this is what's causing it, if we play by their rules where everything's singular origins or singular problems, we're always going to get shut down. But if we can broach the subject that this is a contributing factor, can we eliminate this contributing factor? We've got a chance. We've got a fighting chance.
Yeah, it's good logic. You just got to get those bigger companies to accept that it's more than just a blanket, throw a blanket over it, that's solved.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's been going on in your week this week, Corvus? Ricardo?
The usual, man. Just chaos and nonsense.
Work, eat, sleep, rinse, repeat.
What's that?
Work, eat, sleep, rinse, repeat.
Well, we're trying to buy a property, and it's crazy. There was one house we were going to go look at, because it came on the market at like 5:00 on a Wednesday. And we were like, oh, okay, look at that. Let's go check it out tomorrow. So we booked an appointment for the next, lunchtime the next day. And then we got an email at 10:30 at night from our agent that was like, hey, our appointment's canceled tomorrow. It's already sold.
Wow.
Damn.
Which, it was like 600. I think that one was like 650,000, which is just a bucket load of money. but somebody came in with 790,000 cash.
Shit.
Wow.
And then today, one of the places that we looked at the other day, and we were like, okay, we're going to put in an offer today. Somebody came in with 725,000 cash and just bought it. And then a place we looked at today on lunch break, it went on the market yesterday, and then we saw it this morning at like 11 a.m. And then by 1 o'clock, they had decided that they're going to review offers today, and they're going to accept an offer today. So we had to have our offer in by 3 o'clock today.
It's a high pressure situation.
I just told them they can go ahead and eat my entire asshole and just fuck off with that shit. It's so ridiculous. Like, oh, we're playing the high pressure sales game. Oh, cool. See you later. Bye. Like, lose my number.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
So,
I think they just do it because they can at the moment, can it?
I suppose so. Yeah. I mean, it's all sales tactics, you know. I mean, it's the same thing when you're trying to buy a used car or whatever. It's like somebody's trying to sell you an undercoat. Somebody's trying to sell you a warranty. Someone's trying to, you know, it's the same kind of nonsense. But it's a disaster. Like, it's just crazy right now. So we'll see what happens.
Throw some dirt in the eye. That's funny. Yes, that's like the let me put some dirt on it for you. What was that from? True Blood. The Were Panthers. That's their solution to wounds.
Oh, yeah.
Put some dirt on it.
Throw some dirt on it. Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. It's stressful, man. Like trying to do something and it's impossible, you know.
Just get.
And then like one place we looked at, there's no internet service there whatsoever. They're just like, yeah, we don't have that. And you're like, why not? And they're like, because we just don't. I'm like, okay, well, I can't buy this house then. It's the year 2022. Okay? Like, why don't you have internet service? Oh, I don't know. I never really needed it. Okay. I'm not going to give you $700,000 for your house then.
Isn't there
You
just
idiot.
like there are lots of places around here, at least I know, where it's just that there isn't provided the internet service, isn't like all the infrastructure isn't there.
Right.
So there are lots of places where you can move where you don't have access to it. You can get a satellite dish,
Yeah.
I understand.
but you're really limited. But yeah, it's less a personal choice that you didn't do it at your property and more related to a greater picture of that the infrastructure is not in place.
Right. The thing
But-
is that, like, I understand and I get it. But you know, I feel like if you're going to put your house on the market, like, I don't know, sort some of this crap out. I don't know. Zabim, he dropped out. I don't know what happened. He probably doesn't have internet service where he lives. He's proven a point. Moby Dick says Starlink anywhere is trash. It's garbage. Don't get it. It's way too expensive.
Falling out of the sky.
It's way too expensive and it doesn't work. So, I mean, it's available in my area. I live in Western Washington. This is one of the target areas for Starlink, and it doesn't work at all. You know, I mean, you can get some signal off of it. It costs $100 a month to rent their modem and $100 a month for service.
Wow.
And it's limited too. So if you watch too many movies or whatever, you're going to get upcharged because it's a limited amount of information that you can download.
Something
So
like that.
hold on. I have fiber optic 1 gig service to my house here. it is after taxes $65 a month. What's the benefit in Elon Musk's stupid space trash internet service? What's the benefit? There is no benefit. It costs more. It costs 3 times what I pay here for a crappier service that gets upcharges. It just makes no sense to me. Like, I can understand if he put 100,000 satellites up there or something and then decided to sell it. Like, okay, maybe, but no, it's just another one of Elon Musk's scams. And
Fund as you go situation. Yeah, I was only thinking of the True Blood one, because I watched a couple of the Were Panther episodes last night. Scungy.
A were-panther, like a werewolf, but you turn into a panther instead of a wolf.
Yeah, it's
I'm
quality.
sorry. Yeah, totally.
I think it was about then that the quality of True Blood really started to dip below the poor quality that it already was.
I feel like they lost.
Not even one bit.
I feel like they lost their story. You know, like in the middle of it, they were like, what are we writing again? I don't know. Something about fairies. Okay, I guess.
Yeah, I think they were just like, people are really eating up this vampire stuff. Let's throw in all the other magical beings that we can think of.
I know. I mean, the beginning of that show is fantastic. Like the first, I don't know, what, 2 seasons, maybe 3.
Yeah,
I forget how many seasons there were.
That I always really liked. I have a friend, and his cat he called it Werrigull, because it's a cat, but it turns into a seagull to come and taste. I like that. It's a pleasing.
I had a seagull on my truck hood today.
Nice.
It just landed on the hood and was staring at me. I think it thought I had food or something. It was like staring at me for a long time, just standing on my truck, looking at me through the windshield. I took a picture of it. No, I was parked, like landed, and was like, "Hey, what's up? I'm here. I'm on your truck."
Sorry, because were you asking me a question before I had to ask about the panther?
Yeah, I was going to say, because I'm going to step away for about 47 seconds, roughly. I thought maybe you might like to take the opportunity to talk about what went on Sunday/Saturday night American time for us.
On the auction. You saw some art, did you?
Yeah, I did. I kind of wasn't going to do my art things on here anymore.
Okay.
That's what I told myself. But yeah, no, we had an auction on Pam's stream, and she was very kind to me to let me do that, and she sort of, pushed for me to have space and time, and it was like slightly uncomfortable because I had to be on the full screen for so long. But yeah, no, it was really nice, and sold some work and posted it off today.
Awesome.
This morning I went and posted all those pieces off. So yeah, that was nice, and hopefully the idea is that then I can use that money to do some framing.
Lovely.
Because that's something I just can't afford. My budget's always so tight.
Yep. Frame is expensive. Sure.
Yes, it really is.
Yeah.
And the difference, like I was framing in, trying to buy stuff and put it in frames, and that's a lot cheaper, but it also, the result is a lot shitter. And until I got some stuff professionally framed, and that's when I saw the difference, and I was like, it's pretty big. I would love to have skills in picture framing, but I don't have tools or skills. So for now, I have to just pay someone else to do it.
Yeah. Go for it.
I was just going to say, I have fantasies though of making some frames, like sculpting some frames and then making molds and doing like resin casts of some frames.
Great idea.
I sort of have that. I just don't know how I then go about attaching, like what facilities I have to make in the piece, like the framing piece that I make, for it to be able to attach properly to like backing and stuff like that. So I have to research that before I start doing anything.
For your black and whites, there might be, I don't know if it exists yet, but there's this digital paper that's basically LCD screens that the Kindle uses, like those e-readers that are like ebooks. You potentially, they might make a photo frame that you could load up with a bunch of images, and you could sell that as a installation piece.
That's
Load it up with,
because I mean,
and then you could get into animation if you wanted to. That'd be cool. Some of your pictures moving would be awesome.
Absolutely. I did like a little bit of animation back in the day when I was at uni. And because I did one animation unit and then that sort of moved me. I was like trying to do some. It's very time consuming, which is why I don't do it at the moment. But I'm quite interested in it. It's a very fun medium.
Yeah.
And little ones, like the sort of just doing just little ones, you know, because usually I like envision this massive thing and then I have to try to squish it into something that's more manageable. But if I sort of set my goal at, you know, just something that's just very time limited and small.
Yep.
Or looping or something.
Yep. A little loop.
So did you say you posted all of the artwork out today?
I did, except there was one person who hadn't paid yet and their art is still on the table. But yeah, all of the other ones I posted out. So it's that like nerve-wracking period once I put them in the packages and send them off until they get there. I always feel that little bit nervous of if they'll go astray or, you know, get bent up. I know that Mikey got sent artwork and the postman just like shoved it in the mailbox and it got all scratched. So, you know, I worry that will happen to something I'll send. I always try writing, like, please don't bend on the packages and stuff, but I don't know.
You need the stickers.
Yeah.
I think that was the problem. Yeah, well, that was the problem with mine, I think, is that it did say do not bend on it, but the postman must have been a little bit forthright and didn't want to be ordered around, so he thought, I'm going to bend this thing.
Maybe semantics. He was like, I'm not bending it. I'm not bending it. I'm just shoving it. Different.
Yeah.
Didn't say do not shove it in a small hole.
Maybe you should include that on yours. Do not shove or bend, pretty please.
Do not shove. Do not shove into wrong hole. Yes.
Yeah.
But that was a piece of Rack Cross's artwork, and I think James from Fish Room Fever was the main protagonist as to getting it to me, and they just sent me a fresh one, and it arrived okay.
Nice.
Yeah, well, luckily it was a print, and so there was that potential.
Yeah.
If you get an original piece, then
see you later. But anyway, yeah, it was a lovely experience, and massive thanks out to Pam for letting us do that on her channel. Fingers crossed we didn't keep her out of bed for too long that night. I know we went a little bit longer than usual, but it was nice to sell some art and basically take over Pam's stream for a little while. I think she's doing... Isn't she selling some stuff on her live stream on Wednesday night?
Yes, I believe she said because she was going to sell that owl that she was working on.
That's right, yeah.
The flying owl.
That may be, that was what I was thinking, may be an issue with that other piece that hasn't been paid for yet.
Oh, yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
I follow you.
I didn't want to have to explain too much just in case this... No one needs to be embarrassed or have to think that they're being called into question.
Sure. That's all right. I'm good with it all.
May 3. Everything happens at the right time for the right reason or something. Some saying like that goes.
Yeah, certainly with my work, I only feel good selling it if people feel like they really want it and feel,
Yeah, it always helps to
Good
know it's going to a good home.
I'm not a seller, and I want it to be appreciated. But yeah, I have no interest in selling a piece to someone, even if they have the best of intentions to be kind and supportive, if they don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know why it means so much, but it does. I'd
Because
rather
it means so much to have your art mean so much.
Yeah, well, I'd rather give it away to someone who valued it than sell it for heaps of money to someone who didn't care about it.
Well, depending on how big the heap was, I guess.
I
Yeah.
suppose maybe it's weird because I don't know. Certainly with my work, and I know that this is true for many people. It's just a really big part of you. Like I'm kind of I love there are some pieces actually that I hate and I want to just throw them in the bin and burn them.
G'day,
But-
Zenny.
Oh,
Where
Hello.
was Zenny on Sunday?
mhm. Oh yeah.
She'll come to the next one, I bet. Sorry, keep going.
Oh, I don't know. I forget what I was going to say, but I just feel, and even like to send pieces off, it's really strange. It's like, for those of you that have children, when your children go off and are like staying somewhere else that aren't with you, and you know that they're there, or you hear a story or see a picture of them away from you, and it feels like this kind of strange feeling to see them in this foreign environment where you no longer have, it's not just with you, it's separate from you. I feel kind of that feeling when my art goes off. I see people opening it up and it's in their house and it's across the other side of the world and stuff, and I feel really like, oh, my baby. Don't know. It's fun too, though. It was really nice though to see some people showing some pictures that I hadn't seen for a really long time. And it was like a really nice experience to see them and to note that, like, to remember them and see them and think, oh, that they're out there. There are some that I sold to this through an exhibition, and I don't know the person who bought them. And they were pieces that were in the exhibition and were marked like not for sale. But then I got contact and they were saying, oh, this person really wants, but these are the pieces that they want, come back to me. So I put like what I thought was a high dollar figure on them that might deter the person from buying it.
Yeah, didn't work.
But it didn't work and they bought them. And so I had to be happy in one sense that I'd sold them and I'd made money, and I was like, that's good.
Yep.
Ever since then, I still wonder who that person is who has those pieces, because I intended they would be in my house forever.
Oh no.
I just feel really weird about it, that they're out there in the world and I don't know where they are.
We do that with that jewelry with one of ones. We call it whale hunting. So the unique one of ones we put a big price on, and it's like Ahab hunting Moby Dick, Someone eventually is going to cave and just grab that high-priced item, and because it's a one shot, they usually the costs of making it are higher, but the customers are definitely happy getting a one of one for sure.
G'day, Fishy Mon. It was nice to get amongst it again and sell some artwork and whatnot.
Yeah, I think that it's been hard with all of the shutdowns and everything, And what happened is, I know I mention it a lot, but being like on a roll and then like everything getting shut down and having all stuff planned, I got really disheartened. And I have been, even though since then I've had things like, entering the competitions and did have to win and stuff like that, which should be encouraging, but it still just felt, I've still noticed that I'm more keeping things into myself just from feeling, I don't know. I guess it just was like the disappointment of it, and I didn't just sort of rise up and keep throwing it out there. I kind of just have sat with that. So it is good to branch out and brave up to options and stuff like that again.
For sure.
G'day, Rico. Coming in with an interesting story. But yeah, I guess it's kind of relevant to what Scungy's saying. I guess that's what he's referring to.
He's showing it, or do I have to do it? Turn right. Oh, nice.
And then
Monkey Pony.
I like this story.
I feel you should make an animation of that whole situation, Rico.
Yeah, I want to see it.
It's probably a music video length story or something like that. Would probably work.
But yeah, it's quite funny with my work with kind of monstery stuff, because I get lots of people see the work and I see like eyes light up, or I have people approach me really animatedly, or people who really like it. But there are also the people, like, it's not for everybody. And there are some people just look at it and the way that it offends their I don't know, their comfort. It makes them feel really uncomfortable, and they just get these looks on their faces like, I don't know what that is about, and they have to leave it behind. So, but I figure it's good because it's like a strong reaction either way.
Keep them on their toes.
You're all muty.
Hello.
Yeah, I just realised I was talking while I was muted.
It's a strong play.
One of my sons just poked his head in the door. It did exactly sound like something that Sarah's already drawn. Zenny? G'day, Holly. How's it going? Holly was one of the lucky recipients, lucky auction winners on Saturday night. Actually, Holly got 2. Holly, you're so greedy. You got 2. Outstanding. I'm just trying to work out if
She got the one that you like. And the one that Dragon there liked.
Oh, yes. She got the fishing horn and sleepy dragon. All right, see you later. G'day, Lonnie. Yeah, that was good. Well done, you, Holly. I don't know if you will, hopefully, fingers crossed, you'll make a video or something to pop up on the YouTubes that we can share with everyone. That will be fantastic.
So it's just gone in the post today. Actually, I've started the drafts of the emails with the tracking numbers in them, but I haven't sent them yet. I didn't finish them. I was writing them and I had my little paper with my tracking numbers ready to enter it in. So I've got to send those through.
So I've got the news on in the background, and I just saw a little ticker tape thing down the bottom. New South Wales government is offering a $500,000 reward for information leading to the discovery of Tio Hayes' body. We could play Batman, the backpacker that went missing in Byron a while back. That sounds like some Batman startup capital. Play a detective and find out the truth, and clean up.
Absolutely.
Oh man.
G'day, Crypt Keeper Aquatics. How's it going?
Hello.
Crypt Keeper says, Corvus, I finally watched the first Lord of the Rings per your recommendation. Awesome film.
Yeah.
Did you watch the long one or just the cinematic release?
That's the question.
What's that? Did they actually release a short version?
Yeah, the cinematic one was shorter.
Yeah, the original one that came out in the cinema was about 25 minutes shorter than versions you can get on DVD with all the extra walking footage and whatnot.
There you go. Didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't think you get much extra out of the extended version except a little bit extra time taken out of your life, but still.
Yeah, you get tired and you fall asleep in my experience. Oh man, trying to watch those extendeds drilled me. I think not watching them at night and maybe drinking coffee while I'm watching it could help, but every time I've tried to watch them, I just fall asleep.
Yeah, because I think they are like an extra 20, 25 minutes, each one of the three.
At least, yeah.
They're fairly long anyway.
Yeah.
If it's only 25 minutes difference. But I also have definitely done some Lord of the Rings falling asleep myself.
Yeah.
Even though I love it. I just don't have the staying power.
It's kind of got to be done in shifts, isn't it?
But yeah, it's okay because I fall asleep and then I put it on the next day, the next night from like wherever I fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you guys are probably prime ones to ask. Do you know if there's a release date on the television show yet? What's it called? The Power of the Rings or something, or the Power of the Ring?
Got no idea.
What's that? The new Lord of the Rings show?
Yeah.
I don't know when it comes out.
It should be within the next month or two. Surely they've started to release pictures and promos and probably not any trailers yet, but certainly lots of teaser posters and whatnot.
I just don't even know. I know that you mentioned.
You don't want to know. You don't want to know when it comes out.
It's still ages away.
Yeah, September 2nd.
Got to try and sneak that hype in a little bit beforehand, I suppose.
Yeah, it's gonna go ahead and it's gonna be 7 months from now. So just hold on to your butts.
My kids are freaking out. Not freaking out, but like, under the weather over maybe or something. They like Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And they've been going on at first when they first said they were going to release it, and they have release dates. And every time they change the release date and push it back further, they're like, have a little meltdown. Why did they say it's going to be out if it's not going to be out?
Because it builds more hype.
Yeah.
But yeah,
create chatter on the interwebs. G'day, Scotty.
Going through it, going like from when it was meant to be out and how long it is until even now, and now they're anticipating, this much in the future.
Yeah, Ballspace says there has been a trailer for the Lord of the Rings show as well, so I thought I'd seen something, but I bet it's not very revealing. G'day, Geek Boy. Another successful victor at the auction the other day. Well done to you, Geek Boy. Geek Boy got Peggy.
Sensitive charm. The main name that I really, really like that can stay forever is I got this because Bob bought a snake. I like it.
Well, we have a tendency at auctions of Sarah's artwork, or generally just showings of Sarah's artwork, that the audience viewing get to issue names to the paintings and pictures and whatnot.
Man.
So there was a few interesting names thrown up, but yeah, I tend to agree with Sarah that the best name that was given to a picture was by Mike's Aquatics and Things, calling his "I got this because Bob got a snake," which I'm fairly certain with the reference to that Bob had bought a new snake from the reptile shop that day, so Bob couldn't afford to go and buy too many pictures. So Mike got in there and got a bit of a steal. It's just unfortunate now that I can't picture the picture because the name doesn't have a reference to it for me. It doesn't explain it, sort of thing. But I'll just go back and watch the video again.
Sure. It was that kind of unicorny deer kind of one with the mushies on
Oh
it.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was great. And Mike also got a hairy beast as well, and that's not a euphemism.
Oh, that really was like a unicorn one.
Guess what time it is?
Time to get a watch.
20?
Time to get some whiskey.
Nice.
Maybe
Oh,
it's
that's
time
wrong.
to refill my glass.
I thought that was. I've seen that in the shop, and I'm so against
Peanut butter.
and everything. But God,
So
can you
good.
get
Peanut butter.
Can you pour a shot and get Em to drive it around to me so I can try it?
She's in town already. I'll buy you a little bottle one day and drop it off to you. They sell the little mini bottles.
Yeah, right.
Sounds
I'm just-
interesting. I will be tempted.
It's fucking delicious. Oh. From
I think Mike's got enough.
Louisville,
Snap
Kentucky.
Polly. What does he say?
It's from Louisville, Kentucky.
Interesting. I think they call it Louisville, don't they?
Louisville. I fucked up.
Isn't there there's a joke about Louisville, but the answer's not actually Louisville. And what's never mind. I'll try and remember that one, and I'll do it properly for all the Americans, but you all probably know it already. So how do you pronounce the capital of so-and-so? Is it Louisville? Is it Louisville? Or is it something or other else? And then it's none of them because it's a completely other city. Does anyone know that joke? Come on, refresh my memory.
No.
G'day, ugly man. How's it going? Yeah, I can't remember. It's Kentucky, isn't it? Is Louisville the capital of Kentucky? Or is it just a big city there and something else is the capital?
It's just a big city.
What's the capital of Kentucky?
Oh, I forget. It's like Lexington or something. Capital
Knoxville.
of Kentucky. I forget. I don't know. Frankfurt. There you go.
Well,
You ever heard of Frankfurt?
Yeah, I thought it was a city in Germany, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
welcome to Frankfurt, Kentucky, where they probably pronounce it all wrong, and then
Yeah, they
scream
call
at people.
They call it Franz Fart.
Like there'll be like some German guy there, like, oh no, it's pronounced Frankfurt, and they'll be like, no, you're wrong, German, get out of here. Yeah. Like, all right. Kentucky sucks.
G'day, Jay. How you going?
Actually, to be honest, I like Kentucky. I had a good time. I've been there a couple of times, and I've always had a good time there. But Mitch McConnell sucks, and he's their representative, so they should vote him out. Or I'm going to keep telling them that they suck for not voting him out. It's been like 800 years of Mitch McConnell. Like, just vote him out because he's Dracula,
Right.
There's clearly a immortal being. Oh, Holly's on the fireball.
Yeah, did you see when his hands were all black?
Who?
Mitch McConnell.
I don't
No,
know
we don't
who
see American
McConnell
politics.
is.
No,
Sorry.
I'm not saying you follow American politics, but he falls down a lot,
Right.
and he had fallen so badly that he was so bruised. Both of his hands were completely black and bruised.
Oh, shit.
And then when reporters were asking him, like, "Hey, are you okay? Like your hands look all." Oh no, I'm fine. Nothing's wrong with me. You're like, you're clearly very, very bruised, like significantly to the point where like, dude, you've been in an accident. and he just kept being like, "Oh no, I'm fine." You're like, "Are you sure?" No, okay. Well, Dracula would be fine in this instance. So yeah.
When you said his name, I instantly went to the character that Cartman did in South Park with his hand. Well, he was a Mitch, wasn't
It was
he? He did, yeah, he did. Jennifer Lopez was one of them, but then he moved into because Mitch, someone was a secret agent or something, and he was imitating Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah. Well, as you said, you don't follow American politics, but you knew who Mitch McConnell was.
Well, it was only ball space. Yeah, there we go. Thanks. I was going to say ball space. We'll clear this up in no time flat. Mitch Connors. You can see how I drew the comparison.
McConnell, yeah.
I know. I can always get South Park answers stat from ball space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good episode. What's his name? Cartman was. I'm still undecided if Cartman actually had a mental episode that episode, or if if it was all just an act. Hard to tell with Cartman, but yeah, if you haven't seen that episode, go back and watch it. Great.
Oh, yeah, I guess it is Frankfurt. My bad. I don't really care. I wish I cared. I just don't.
On ball space. Sorry, I'll call him Ballsack because that's how I know him.
The best thing that was in Kentucky was the Shaker Village.
Not the Jack Daniels distillery. Oh no, I suppose you're not interested in them anymore, are you?
I didn't go to the distillery. I've been to distilleries though, and they're super boring.
Yeah.
They're like the most boring thing you could go to, and like sure you could have some drinks, but like why would you pay an extra $100 to walk around some crappy old wet building?
Go and look at some liquid stored in wooden barrels.
Look, these are the barrels we got here. They were handcrafted by poor people, or whatever. I don't know. It's like, okay.
Ballspace also made a mention of Mitch McConnell turned up in Paradise PD, which I believe is a animated adult cartoon series. Also, he turned up as a turtle. So since you're such a big fan there, Ricardo, you might want to go and have a look at some Paradise PD.
No.
Maybe you'll appreciate Mitch McConnell in the form of a turtle more than a human with bruised hands.
No, I'm good. No, I'm fine. I'll be fine not watching it. I always save my watching for useful stuff.
Oh, geez,
hey, should I get Magic Spoon to sponsor my YouTube channel?
What's Magic Spoon? Is that one of those pre-made meal companies, isn't it?
It's like cereal. That's like keto.
Yeah, right.
It's like keto-friendly, protein-packed breakfast cereal.
Yeah, I'm familiar now because a couple of podcasts that I listen to are sponsored by that.
I could set up a fish tank and feed him Magic Spoon, and that's the ad. And then everyone in the tank dies.
But you say this is not recommended for fish; it is people food, and then you can show a picture of you still alive, and say, "But it works on people. Doesn't work on fish.
Fish not good. No, yeah."
Hey, wow! I do a thumbs up, and my thumb's all blurry.
The thing is, I'm not gonna take them on as a sponsor. I think it's just funny they keep emailing me. They're very persistent. Hey man, we want to sponsor your YouTube channel. Send us all of your channel analytics, and then we'll lowball you. I think I'm gonna email them back and be like, for $283,000, you can fund a project that will be sponsored by Magic Spoon. Otherwise, I'm not interested.
I reckon, if advertisers are being aggressive with their, whatever you call it, farming for sponsorships and whatnot, then why not have the potential sponsorees come back at them with, demands that you never know might be met.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
You got to try it.
Should I email him back? I'll email him back right now.
Yeah, you got to try it before you promote it. I mean,
it's
dearest potential.
Yeah, send box to me so I can try your cereal, and then I will promote you if it's good.
My fingers hurt so bad today.
Well, I suppose luckily you've only spoken about it on this channel instead of your own. Well, I hope you haven't spoken about it on your own so that you're not giving them free permission.
Sponsorship. My fingers hurt. Typing sucks.
Cryptkeeper Aquatics, that's gold. Show a video of you eating that weird cereal while watching your sunrise sequence on the light schedule. Say something corny like, watching my tanks in the morning is so much tastier with Magic Spoon.
Fuck yeah.
That's worth $236,000, surely.
Yeah.
I think you missed your calling, CKA. You need to be a copywriter. And your theme can be bring back NAF. Do people still say NAF? Bring back the old standards in advertising. Not all these weird and bizarre beer ads and strange ads that try and be funny and stuff.
What's a realistic number I should throw out here for him? $16,000. Okay, 16,000.
83.
16,000 USD.
I hope you're just saying that number and typing a different number, because what if they come good? Then everyone knows you've got 16,000 from. Well, I suppose not everyone, just 26 people.
Why would I hide it?
Yeah, I suppose that's entirely up to you.
I mean, it's legit. It's legit going to be me. I'm going to take the $16,000. I'm going to turn it into cash. And it's just going to be a video of me walking around downtown Tacoma, slapping people in the face with it until I get stabbed and robbed. And that's going to be the YouTube video, and it's just gold, Like, this is going viral.
Yeah, Aubrey's idea is pretty choice as well.
Currently says, dearest potential sponsor, what are you going to offer as a sponsorship? I have a project you might be interested in funding. Current project funds needed are in the 16,000 USD. Thank you. Jay. I'm not even going to sign my full name.
For 16 grand.
Oh, you know what I should have said? I should have said, suck it. Yeah.
Suck it. Yeah, you got to try it before you promote it. Oh, for $16,000, you could get someone to eat shit and promote it.
Yeah, Vince has a good point. Says you can finally get a new camera with 16 grand. They're not going to do it. Here's the thing. No. They're just fishing for me to email them back. So I'm going to just keep emailing them back like nonsense until like an actual human gets on the line, and they're going to be like, please stop responding to us. And I'm going to be like, this is my YouTube video now. And I'll literally make a YouTube video about all of the emails, but I'm just going to blur out who it's from. Make it all vague. Like, here's what it's like to have a YouTube channel. You get spam emails from weird robots that want you to sell their product.
Yeah.
And yeah. So, you just talk about it on air and be like, yeah, I don't know what's the deal here.
Realistically, though,
it's a mess.
Might be a fairly valid system for them. Because
I don't know. The thing is, like, I would take on a sponsor, but like, they would need to like
a relevant one.
Well, yeah, a relevant one first of all, but like, they want to give you a certain amount of money to make a commercial in one of your YouTube videos, right? But like, what's the point of me just making a YouTube video and then suddenly in the middle of it be like, hey guys, what do you think about Nike shoes? They're bitching. Look how fast I can run. It's like, what is the point of that? Like, is somebody gonna go buy Nike shoes now or something? Like, but these Adidas, they are on my feet. then you know they're good because they're shoes. You're like, huh?
I imagine that they're
I don't know.
potentially if
What?
they're sending out massive amounts of spam to
Ricky's coming over here. She's
YouTube
got something to
channels
say.
that-
Hold on.
What?
I don't have anything to say.
You don't have to be on camera. You can be on microphone. Hold on.
Hi, Vicky.
You just have talking to that microphone right there.
Hello, everyone.
Hi,
Hello.
Vicky.
I didn't really have anything to say. I was harassing Joel off screen. I said, "Who's got Nikes?"
Sounds like someone's chasing a Nike sponsorship.
Oh,
I want an Adidas sponsorship.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would take some Adidas shoes.
Actually, I'd
Yeah.
like Scarpas. Scarpas are good. I wear those all the time.
Yeah, those are better.
I like the 3 stripes of Adidas better than the swoosh of Nike.
I like the
Yeah.
Adidams. I like the Adidams. It's half the price with extra stripe.
okay.
4 stripes.
I read that Adidas and Puma are owned by two brothers, or started up by
Puma?
two brothers, and they had a factory across the road from each other. They have the mad competitions about who can get
Oh,
more money.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't even know.
Mm.
What are you
Puma.
doing?
I was drying my clothes in the dryer for my trip to Alaska.
Wow.
That's right. You better get out of here. You better hurry up. Better warm up your wings.
Start running for the border.
Some stretching.
Start flapping.
Some deep knee bends.
Crunches. Okay.
Okay, bye-bye now.
All right. Bye-bye now.
See
Bye,
ya.
guys. Have a good night. Or a good
Thank you.
I
You
guess
too.
a
Bye.
good day.
Good day.
Good day.
Yeah, I reckon the way that the serial mob are doing their advertising is that they probably get many channels that are like 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers that might hit them back with, say, $500, $1,000, something like that. That's in the realm of possibility.
They would never pay $1,000 for a 2,000 subscriber channel to do a video.
But I would imagine that they're getting some kind of response from that mass marketing type of exercise.
Oh yeah, I mean they're obviously marketing their product via like YouTube paid ads, But it's like, the reality is like if somebody wanted to sponsor my channel, it's like sponsor a project on my channel, and then we'll do it, and then I'll make a video about it. But it's that whole like, can we give you like $123 because looking at your analytics, like this is going to go out to a certain amount of people that are going to generate a certain amount of revenue, and then like, but it has to be 2 minutes long, and you have to say our product name 15 times, and here's the copy that you have to read, and then put it in your YouTube video, and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy and stupid. It's just unbelievable. Like, how you're watching a YouTube channel and suddenly like the League of Legends or something is like their sponsor or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's like a 2-minute like, oh my God, guys, this is the best video game I've ever played in my entire life. I seriously play it. I play all the time. Like I'm constantly playing it, and it's like my favorite game. And everybody knows it's my favorite game because you have like characters that are like super good and you can make them better. And you're like, and then they go back into their video about like trying to hunt down pedophiles or something, like what?
And obviously that style of advertising is becoming so much more prevalent because I don't know about everyone else here, but I've become quite proficient at skipping over the exact amount of time required to get past whatever ad shows.
I mean,
up.
well, it's like I have YouTube Premium, so I never have ads.
Me too. Yeah.
Like so
that's the reason.
I mean, that's the funny thing is like somebody be like, "Oh, you pay $10 a month for YouTube Premium?" I'm like, I would pay $10 a month for the rest of my life to be not exposed to advertising. Yes,
absolutely.
You get so much time back. Your time is money, so you're paying for that free time basically.
And also, like, I don't want advertising to exist in my headspace.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one.
Like, I don't want the brain rot. So, I mean, the thing is, like, I would gladly take on a sponsor if somebody actually wanted to sponsor the channel. You know, like that's the reality. And I almost did, like, we almost did like 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago now, something like that. I almost had a deal worked out with Dennerley to sponsor the channel, but it fell through because of paperwork and blah blah blah. You know, which, like, you know, the thing is, like, I'm open to doing that, but if somebody would have to be willing to, like, actually sponsor the channel. It's not like, you know, here's $50. Can you mention my watch company?
What were you
every
trying to
once
say,
in a while?
Scungy?
I don't know. I think I was only speaking to kind of what Corvus then articulated about just having just being exposed to advertising is fucking. It's because it's a science, the way that they know how to get into people's brains, and it's awful. And I find it to be, you know, that's why I avoid so much stuff. I don't really even watch YouTube.
Well, I did back in 1993. I achieved myself a diploma in advertising and marketing, and as soon as I finished the diploma, I was like, I don't ever want to work in that field. It's evil. It's nasty. And that was before all of these algorithms and shit had started.
Right.
They've got to learn. Like, if before I had YouTube Premium, if I kept seeing an ad for a product in my YouTube, I'm just not going to fucking buy that product, like, as a protest.
Right. Just out of like, just out of the rage. Just out of the rage. Like, fine, I will never buy that. Okay.
Yeah,
that's fine. But here's the screwed up thing.
People do that. A lot of demographic do it.
Here's what's weird is that that response, will more often than not make you into a customer because of the recognition later on.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like it's all tactics of just like if you recognize a thing, like for whatever reason, you know humans will immediately just be like, oh yeah, all right, even if it's a thing they hate. That it's like you literally just recognize it. It's the whole you know, any what's it called when you bad coverage, you know, if you get bad coverage, it's still good. You know what I'm talking about?
Any publicity is good publicity.
Any publicity. Yeah. Any publicity is good publicity. It's like, you know, that's how George Bush got elected, you know, like everyone knew his name. He had name recognition. It's like, oh yeah, the Bush, the guy from before. Oh, it's his son. Okay. Bush. I remember Bush. I'll just vote for that, you know?
Well, that's a callback exactly to, the Zelda TV show's premiere date constantly changing, is that it gets it talked about and constantly in everyone's, you know, newsreels and whatnot.
Free ads.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things. That's why whenever I hear somebody start complaining about cancel culture, it's like I just sigh because I'm like, there's no such thing. There's no, you know, and if there is such a thing, it's like it's free publicity because people are telling somebody they did something they didn't like, right? Like that's all it is. It's like, oh my God, he's been canceled. Like, did he lose his job or what? Like, what happened? It's like, oh, he booked 15 extra comedy shows. You're like, so what? Okay, like,
yeah, just getting canceled from one thing doesn't necessarily close all your doors.
I've been canceled because everyone has a Twitter account now, and so, you know, it's like, oh, people are outraged. It's like, okay, you heard from 20 people that they're pissed at the thing that you said. Okay, like either change for your behavior or don't, I guess. I don't know, but they're just going to yell at you again when you do it again, you know.
Louis C.K. is a good example of that, isn't he? Ever since he was cancelled, and now he's selling just as many tickets to his comedy shows.
Well, here's the thing, like, yeah, Louis C.K. was air quote canceled, right? But like, he sincerely apologized, went away for a while, and came back, like. And by the way, he had like $100 million in the bank. Like, how bad is that?
He didn't have to come back, but he did. Like, I think he came back just to prove the point that you can come back from being cancelled.
Yeah.
Well,
If
like
you got the
name me.
goods.
Well, here's the problem. It's like name me somebody who air quote got canceled and went away, other than the guy, the Kramer from Seinfeld, right?
Yeah.
What about Donald Trump? You don't seem to hear much from him these days, or am I just on the wrong social media?
Oh,
Got to join his social media.
he's banned, but he still shows up on Fox News. He literally put out a release the other day that is like just rambling gibberish because he's just an unhinged moron, you know.
Clutching at straws.
Yeah. So
I got to go for a bit, guys. I'll be back soon. All right.
Okay.
All right, man.
See ya.
So you know, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I don't care about Donald Trump. I care about the people that he's tricked into thinking that he's some kind of savior or whatever. You know, that's the reality. Like the reality of like why I would ever talk out against Donald Trump and the how much of a grifter and criminal he is because I care about the people that are being tricked by him. You know. I don't want them to continue to be tricked by him, you know? So, I mean, has he been canceled? I mean, he got kicked off of Twitter and Facebook for breaking the rules on those web pages, right? Which would be the same thing as like if he was posting nudes on Facebook, right? You're like, oh my God, he was canceled. You know, it's like, well, there's a term of service and you broke the terms of service.
Yeah.
They don't want you on there anymore. Like, you know, and that's the thing is like, but nobody out there wants to hear what the resolution for that is. And that they go, oh, people get kicked off of Facebook. It's like, well, that's because it is a private company, right? Now, it's a gigantic private company, but nobody ever wants to hear the answer. And Joe Rogan will constantly cry about how these companies are too powerful, you know, but then he goes, no one should be taxed. I'm a libertarian, whatever, freak, weirdo, with all his nonsense. But nobody ever wants to hear what the resolution is to that. It's a taxpayer-based, gigantic platform that people can go on there and put whatever they want on there, you know, because it's going to take billions and billions of dollars in infrastructure and all that if you want to compete with a company that was allowed to get too big because of non-regulated capitalism. The air quote free market capitalism in the United States allowed Facebook and Google and Microsoft and these few companies to get so large and eat up every other company because all the regulation has to be taken away. We're not going to tax any of these big companies. We're not going to do any of this stuff. Well, this is what it's led to, you know. And if you want to compete with that,
Ballsday says that Trump does still make the news down here.
Yeah, he does. He's always doing something weird, you know. You know, and the thing is that like. And people would go like, well, what's a good example? And it's like a good example would be like the BBC, right? It's taxpayer funded. They can't just throw crap up on there that's just random rumors that they heard. Like things have to be checked. People get fired if, you know, like there's repercussions for people if they're like spreading nonsense on there because it's taxpayer funded, you know?
Yeah.
And is the BBC like the gospel or something? No, but a lot of their reporting is pretty accurate, you know? So it's a direct result that you see from that, you know? And then Americans will go on the BBC and just get demolished because they have no idea. They think they're on Fox News, you know? You know, Ben Shapiro going on on BBC is a perfect example of that like he's supposedly some kind of giant monster-brained intellectual where he like screams at college students with a microphone from the stage, goes on to the BBC and within 5 minutes has a meltdown and leaves because he's being asked questions, you know, and has to talk to an adult. So
I don't think I saw that video.
You should look it up. It's hilarious. Because he doesn't even realize that the guy he's talking to is like hyper conservative.
Learned.
Well, he's learned, but he's hyper conservative too. He's like a super conservative Brit, you know? like, and he's like, starts talking trash to him about how he's like a liberal lefty or whatever, and the guy's just laughing at him like, what are you talking about? Like, you know, and it's a dude that's I can't remember the guy's name, but he's been like honestly reporting the news for like 40 years or something. Like, it's not like he's just some random guy, but it's hilarious though. I'll send you some links to it. It's pretty funny.
Andrew Neil.
Yeah. I always forget that guy's name.
I'll save that tab.
Shapipo? Chapino. It's like Chapino, right? Like a jalapeno.
Shapiro.
Oh, my ball space says his sister got huge on Twitter recently after the baby shower pic. I don't know what the baby shower pics are, but his sister, like her YouTube channel and stuff, was funded.
Shapiro still you're talking about?
Yeah, his sister's YouTube channel was like completely funded by Shapiro's like grifter money, you know, from the oil barons, and they were promoting the crap out of it. And then what's her name? Like, I think it's Classically Abby or something like that. Abby, I think that's who it is. Yep. Let's see. Let's go to her channel real quick.
Is that why she blew up? Because she had big boobs or has big boobs?
Oh, she has big boobs now or something? So yeah, like
everyone knows that the internet.
So here's the thing: like when her videos have Ben Shapiro money backing it to promote it, they'll get like 1 million views, right? But ever since they stopped backing and promoting her videos, let's see. So in the last week, this one got 5,000 views. 11,000 views, 7,000 views, 6,000 views, 4,000 views, 9,000 views. So it's like she has 100,000 subscribers. And she like
mostly, I'm guessing mostly males between the age of 14 and 25.
Yeah, but it's all this like weird traditional conservative wife stuff that's like it's just some of the most absurd nonsense that if you have half a brain, it's like you're like, what? How is anybody falling for this? And then you realize like, oh, you get like free oil baron money and you promote it, then like there it is. Yeah. So I don't know what's up with
look,
her.
it's
if she's having a good life, that's great. But her brother is disgusting, and she seems pretty disgusting as far as I'm concerned too. So just bad people.
Pissing down with rain again, which is probably good because I think my mud was getting dehydrated.
I don't know what to tell you. It was snowing today, bro.
What do you say?
It was super windy last night, and then it was snowing. So I don't know what's going on.
It feels like we've just had 2 weeks of rain with a couple of really hot sunny days thrown in amongst it.
Yeah, brutal humidity. Oh.
Thank the Lord for air conditioning. I think he invented it.
Thank the Lord for air conditioning. Thank the Lord for the furnace. It's so cold.
Well, actually, I'm not even using my air conditioning. I'm just using the dehumidifier because it's more electrically efficient and it does virtually the same job. It's just not aiming for a temperature. It's aiming for a humidity level.
I would love to have a dehumidification system in the house. It will be so good.
It's very handy.
Mm.
Although sometimes if I've like used the dehumidifier or the air conditioner for an extended period of time, and then the next time I flick it on, you get that really musty, damp smell situation.
You got to clean it out, don't you? Because it can.
Yeah, I do that. I did that only a couple of weeks ago. I cleaned all my filters out and stuff. It still gets it. I think it's just because, like, I do have that leaky bathroom, so there's lots of moisture that just hangs around, especially in this stupid, humid weather.
Yes. Did he get weird?
What?
Oh, someone called me. He was being really strange, a friend of mine. So yeah, I just got a call that because I'm using my phone and just hijacked my situation, asking me silly questions, and I'm like, no, dude, I have no idea.
Is that
Please
the dude that's coming to visit?
No, different person trying to invite himself over. I'm like, no, I don't have any time today for you, man. You can fucking look after yourself.
Oh my God. What's he going to do?
Oh, he's asking me if someone's here who is expecting to come over to his place to do chainsawing. I'm like, have you looked outside? You don't do chainsawing in this kind of weather. Like, reality, seriously, this is, yeah, he's not in a good space right now. So he does need support, but yeah, not from me today. I got a friend coming over from, he lives in the UK at the moment. Haven't seen him in a couple of years, so he's going to stay here the night. We're going to have dinner together and hang out and meet his new fiance. So it should be a good night.
Oh my God, fiance! What's he doing?
Oh, he's getting married. He met her in England, and I've known Mahesh since year 11 in high school. So yeah, old long-term buddy.
Oh, that's the sound of my kids coming home. But maybe it will lure my dog out of the car. So what's happened is that I took my son to the doctor earlier, and we came back, the boot was open, and where the dog in the car is, she sits in the boot. And so I left the boot open, and since then, and it's been quite a long time, so it was long before I came on here, or maybe half an hour before this started. And yeah, she's just been sitting in the boot waiting so that she doesn't get left behind next time we go out. So the kids on the bus might lure her out to go and meet them instead of waiting in the car anymore.
Yeah.
It's very cute, but I don't know. A little bit sad.
Boot dog.
Yeah. And like, she doesn't stay anywhere. She always wants to sit on my feet usually, but no. She's decided that's her better spot.
In the car.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because she wants to come every time that I go out, you know. She doesn't want to get left at home. She wants to see the wide world.
Yeah.
Really?
She does.
It's overrated.
She wants to meet every person and, like, have them pat her.
Mm-hmm. Friendly doggo.
Oh, too friendly. Yeah.
Sounds reasonable to
G'day,
me. I mean, realistically.
I was thinking, like, that how nice it must be to see the world and just see, like, every person, and you can just go up to them and they, like, massage you and rub you and tell you how wonderful you are. And that's all you have to do is just hang out, and just every person that you see is just like, oh, you're the best. Let me, like, scratch you and rub you and make you feel good.
Well, you know what's weird? You know what's
It's
weird?
a little bit rapey, but in reverse.
It's a little rapey. That's what I was going to say. It's like humans could do that to other humans. It's just we've instructed them not to.
Yeah, but the reality is, if I just see someone and I just go up to them and, like, go, oh, come on, give me a
Rub on their leg a little bit.
like, most of them are going to
Recoil.
But,
Well,
like, she does it, and people are like, oh, you're beautiful.
Right. I'm saying like humans could do that. We've instructed them. We've taught them to not do that. Us included. You know,
Mm.
we all
We
could
just-
be doing that.
To not
Wait.
love and appreciate humans who want love and appreciation.
Oh,
We
pat my
just need
belly.
to let our body hair grow more,
Yeah.
so we're fluffier.
Yeah.
That
Well,
might-
yeah. I mean, you could opt for the fluffier move. You know, you could do that.
Bloofer.
I mean, I do mostly.
Crypt Keeper Aquatics has got a pretty decent question that all four of us could probably have a crack at.
All right, you read it out. I don't want to read it.
If money, space, and availability of product was no issue at all, what would be the first tank you would be setting up? Sky is the limit here.
Ooh.
Mm.
A bio pool so I could swim with guppies.
Yeah, I would
Solid.
like a biopool too.
Yeah. Yeah.
My-
Convert my saltwater chlorinated pool into a bio pool with like lotuses and reeds and have froggies and tadpoles and all the critters be able to come to the waterhole. That'd be awesome.
I want to. Oh, you did get out of the car. Good for you.
Yeah.
You. Oh,
We have a little
good.
down in one of the dips in the paddock. There's a little billabong that's formed over the many years, and when it's raining weather like this, it fills up with tadpoles.
Yep.
And I can still remember me and my brother used to go down there when we were teenagers, and we'd just lay in the water, and the tadpoles would just snuggle all over your body and suck all the filth off your body and stuff. And it was quite pleasant and fun.
It's weird, but all right.
And in hindsight too, they were probably cane-toed tadpoles because they were always big and black, and there was thousands and thousands of them.
Oh.
Um,
Spawning pool.
My tank that I would probably do would be probably about 2 foot deep, but it would be indoors, and it would probably have like lots of stuff up above the tank with timber and bromeliads and stuff. So it was a whole ecosystem of aerial plants as well as water plants, and a little bit of fish maybe as well. I'm thumbing through my Instagram to try and find an example of
Yeah, all right.
what
But
I
I
was talking about.
come off, so it's not just.
What about you, Scungy? What would you do?
Yeah, well, I think that is probably something like you. I want something that's got like a whole wall and plants, but has the water, so I can have fish. And lots, and I want like mist. I want like waterfalls and mist and ponds and. Sorry. Oh, it's saying that I'm on here. So it's asking,
That looks cool.
do you want to open this window up on there?
Yeah, that sort of thing would be choice.
Like if money
No.
was no issue, I want something that's like huge, way bigger than that. Have like a whole section sort of like midway through the house that's like meters long. But I suppose in the house, all that moisture could be counter to what I'm trying to do of getting rid of the mold in my house. But also to go, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right. Since money's no issue, I'm sure I'll work it out.
Yeah, if money's no issue, you can buy a dehumidifier as well.
Yeah, but wouldn't you then like, you're taking away all of the humidity. But if it's in the house where you're wanting it, obviously you want all that mist, you want all that moisture to be there for all those plants.
Yeah, but
Maybe just
one
more
like that I just showed is entirely enclosed in glass.
Well, because
So
I
that
thought
humidity is
about that too.
maintained in
Like
the
I would
environment.
love to have something where I could have, like a whole ecosystem where you could actually put critters in there. If you could have um, the thing is, everyone's going to eat each other, aren't they? Because, like, if you could have a snake in there and you can have fish going in, and you've got, snails and bugs and all sorts of bits.
Functioning ecosystem.
I do like an indoor-outdoor. Maybe you could have a section that's like just as you going outside, and then but it also leads off into your pool section where you can actually swim into a big outdoor water, but you've got a section that's like and maybe with an overflow so that you can have fish in the bit that's sort of near where you just come outside that don't go off into the big pool.
I have a Crypt Keeper Aquatics. I have an idea for one of those that I'd like to do in this house, except it's outdoor still, but it would require many, many thousands of dollars of development to do the plan that I want to do. Digging a viewing section in beside the driveway where you can sit and look in the window of the outdoor pond. It'd be pretty impressive, the ideas I've had, but yeah, whether the money will eventually turn up, I doubt it.
I'm gonna go.
Sis.
Got the kiddies home, so
Righty ho.
The boys are back.
they sure are.
The boys are back in town. Have
course
you
they
heard the green text story about the boys are back in town?
The what story?
The green text from 4chan. Someone claimed to have gone back to their hometown where they used to live, where they grew up, and they went to the local bar in America and chucked in $10 into the jukebox and just laid out "The Boys Are Back in Town" just constantly. And every time he'd go to the pub, he'd just spam "The Boys Are Back in Town" until he got kicked out from the bar.
Yeah, I used to do that back in the day with "Hey Tonight" by Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Right.
Have you ever heard that song? It has a very distinctive opening.
I have not. Hey
Nice.
Tonight. I'll check it out.
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Yeah.
What was the song called?
Hey Tonight.
Wow, even with all my doors and windows all shut, I can barely hear a thing with the rain on the roof.
Oh.
Yeah.
It goes, "Hey tonight, gonna get you tonight, tonight," and it just goes over and over again.
That
Goes
sounds
on
like an
forever.
episode of South Park.
No, Don Fogerty might as well be a character from South Park, you know?
Yeah. And his brother. What was his brother? Dan, was it?
I don't know.
John and
I don't
Dan,
know.
they were.
Just gonna pull the headphones down. Okay, good girl.
All right.
Now, I'm off.
All right,
See
thanks
ya.
for hanging out, Scungy. Congrats on good auction results and stuff, and we'll do it all again soon.
Did you go big? Did you guys make $1 million?
$1 million.
$1 million.
Just shy of. Fingers crossed if the individual that hasn't paid for theirs yet, once they pay, it might just tickle over the 1 million mark. Because as you know, that American exchange rate to Australian dollars is pretty hefty. So
Is it?
the $300 or so that we sold pictures for translates to about $750,000 American. I always get that wrong, don't I? Because it goes the other way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't the US dollar stronger than the Australian dollar? I don't even
Sure
know.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
At the moment.
It's about 72 cents at the moment.
Mm.
But it's
Let's
always a fun joke to exaggerate, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're correct. 72.
It never
It's
ceases
been fairly solid
create
for about 2
lulls.
weeks now.
No, it was 71 and it was 70. Oh man, it was 70 a few weeks ago. Yeah. What were you guys doing? What were you guys doing a couple weeks ago?
Yeah,
Something-
probably
something
sorting out
ridiculous.
COVID stuff.
COVID, the Rona.
Now we've
Actually,
got
in the
our
last 2 weeks, yeah,
international.
a lot of states in Australia changed all their rules and stuff, and enabled us a little bit more liberation with what we
Mhm.
do in public and stuff. So that may have had some slight impact on the stock markets. I'm not
Maybe.
sure.
And we're going to accept foreign tourists now, as of I think it was yesterday,
Oh,
which
really?
means millions of dollars just coming to Australia and going splush and staying in the country.
Oh,
In theory,
In theory, yeah.
that's if anybody actually comes.
Oh, the planes were packed.
They were packed.
They were packed. Yeah.
Well, they don't
Absolutely.
know. They don't. I don't know if you've ever done very much flying on airplanes, but they don't fly airplanes that aren't packed anymore. That's
True.
not a thing.
Yeah.
It's all algorithmically packed airplanes
Yeah.
via the ticketing algorithm. Yeah, it's really fucked when you miss if you miss a flight or something. It's like there ain't nothing you can get. There's nothing you can do. You're like, wait, I gotta wait till what? 2 days from now? Oh my god. Okay.
Stuck.
Yeah, it's a mess. They're like there are no seats. Sorry. It's a bummer.
In Australia, it's pretty good compared to America, I guess. Getting accommodations a bit simple.
What's that?
Accepting tourists unless they play tennis. Yes, Novaks, you're not welcome. Sorry, Novaks.
wasn't it? It's
Novaks,
wild that
you're a
he's
bitch.
yeah, isn't it funny that his name is that as well?
Yeah,
Novak?
yeah.
Yeah,
Novaks, Novak.
because he
It's
wouldn't. He
memes.
refused to prove his vaccination status to the
Yeah.
Australian tennis people, whatever. So
Yeah, they kicked him out.
yeah, they said, "See ya,
Yeah.
bye."
That's how it goes.
On your bike,
They,
son.
they tell you ahead of time. I've
Yeah.
flown international since COVID. They
Yeah.
tell you. They
Yeah.
tell you what's up. Like, here's what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just are like, well, I don't care. I play tennis good. They're like, well, we're an independent country and fuck off. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Well,
We
I
don't
play
give
might
a-
good
play
sports
tennis good.
balls.
But I play tennis good. Okay.
Sports balls.
You
come
can play
on,
sports
Corvus.
balls elsewhere.
Yes, sports balls. It's not that important.
Here's the thing. I like sports. I don't really like tennis all that much.
Yeah.
Ladies' tennis is good.
Oh yeah.
No, it's not. I mean, like, have you ever watched a whole match? It's more boring than cricket. I'm just saying
And
something.
I'm just looking at the bums.
You're just
I'm-
looking at
I'm-
their bums.
I'm more
Like, just
about
go watch.
the
I don't know.
legs
Go
and
to
the
a strip club or
shoulders.
something. I don't know. Like, why? I mean, it's just
I'm
people
joking.
playing a sport. I mean, I don't
I think
know.
I think it was Bill Burr.
I'm
was
sorry.
listening to.
I don't know. Maybe I'm like weird, but like, I don't get like sexually
I'm-
charged from people that like aren't doing sexual stuff. You know.
True. I was only joking, Corvus. I don't watch
I mean,
any
I get it.
tennis. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm playing with the joke, man. I'm
Yeah,
just saying,
yeah.
like,
You're
I-
getting
I
too
yeah, I don't
serious.
know. I mean, I just
Bill-
like go to a strip club or the beach or something. There's like drunk girls in bikinis, and you're like, well, at least they're not like, you know, doing some other thing, you know, that they
Yeah.
think is like serious business. Because the thing about
Bill-
tennis players and golfers, the thing about them, they're the same group of like imagining that their sport is like really important, you know.
Mm.
Like there's a level of importance that I think is like accidentally put onto the sport. You know, like golf, you can go win a tournament and you win like $9 million or something. It's like bizarro. like you played golf for 4 days. It's like, and then people will tell you like it's so hard, and you're like, okay, yeah. So is the NFL. Like so are all sorts of sports are super difficult. But that
Mm.
is that like the only metric for like I mean, it's literally a leisurely sport. Like it's like what people do for just like they're not working. They're skipping work to go golf.
Yeah.
And make a lot of
Yeah.
money. Yeah, I was
It's not like-
listening to
It's
Bill
not like they're
Burr's Monday
skipping work to
morning
go like
podcast.
hang out at the iron foundry or something. Anyhow,
Listening to Bill Burr's Monday morning podcast yesterday or the day before, and he was talking about women's sport, and he was saying how he actually enjoys watching the women's sport, and if you're watching women's sport and you've got a semi on, then you're not really watching the sport, are you? You're having a quiet little moment with yourself.
yeah,
And he
it's weird.
specifically used women's tennis and women's beach volleyball as an example. That if you dismiss the sexual element that you're there, what's the word? We're
Voyeur,
using them as sexual objects.
objectivity.
Then, yeah, you're not really watching the sport. You're just trying to get yourself a little sly boner on the side.
No, not my thing.
But netball's bloody good to watch. Women's tennis is probably one of my favorite sports to watch. Not only because of legs and shoulders, but because they can actually play that game quite well and not look unco and stuff. Women's cricket has come a long way. I couldn't watch women's cricket for years because they were just still, there's that saying, you throw like a girl.
Right.
That was still happening a few years ago in cricket. Now they just throw.
Yeah. Big ups to tennis. I think it's the only sport that I know of. Maybe volleyball does it too, where they've got mixed doubles. Like fuck
Curling.
Curling too, yeah, true.
Yeah,
But
curling,
it's
man.
just
Wave of the future, bros.
Like
Just
why
sliding some stones around on some ice.
for non-contact sports like cricket, why have we got a women's league and a men's league? That's segregation. There should be a mixed
especially
league.
in this age of equality. Why aren't they all on the one field together?
Fuck yeah, get the best of the best from both genders. Why not? Rather than this silly shit of separating and segregation, it's just dumb,
Pick the best player on the day.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that the reality of that is that all you have to do is just look at the comparisons. For instance, through track and field, of like, if you have just women and men competing, the men just win. That's unfortunate, So,
I think Florence Griffith Joyner, I think she tried to belie that statement, didn't she?
Right. Yeah, Flojo.
Tried to be better than a man.
And the thing is, like, I'm sure 100 years from now or something, it'll be like a non-conversation. Like sports will probably be completely integrated by then.
It'll just be human versus human.
And because I mean, like, so if you look at like women's gymnastics is like a good example, because those young ladies like break their neck by the time they're 19, so the next generation's coming up real fast. They cycle through them pretty quick.
That's why they start them young.
And but you just look at the comparison of like the athleticism over, the last even just like 25 years, how much it's grown. I think it's just a matter of like it not really having been applied for as many, generations, that like, if we're still on this planet 100 years from now, the likelihood of, sports competition probably is all augmented by robots and stuff. But I think if it keeps up the way that it is, eventually you'll see a lot more integrated women and men doing the same sport against each other. Like women's basketball is a good example. Like if you went back 15 years ago, it's like a joke. But there are some women now that could probably play in the NBA,
Yeah.
And be competitive,
Yeah. Let him in.
Oh wow, Flojo died. I didn't know she was dead, but makes sense, I suppose, if she was abusing nasty drugs.
Yeah, that's why people say steroids are bad, because you die real young.
She's living proof or not.
It's not good. It's not good for you. But yeah, it's always like, why are steroids outlawed in sport? And it's like, well, because more people would do them if it was legal and they die. So that's why.
Yes, they deny many sports people from a 10-year career to earn more money than they'd ever consider earning in any other career choice.
You know, I watched a documentary on Netflix a little while ago about women's cricket. Have you seen that?
No way. No way you watched a documentary on cricket.
Yeah, I did.
No fucking way you watched a documentary on cricket.
An American interested in cricket? What?
Why wouldn't I?
What?
I like watching documentaries.
Yeah.
Did you relapse? Were you on acid?
Me? No. Oh, man, that was good.
What was it?
What's that?
I mean, I scroll through Netflix a fair amount, and I've not seen a cricket documentary on there.
We don't watch documentaries.
I'll look it up. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
Have you been watching Raised by Wolves as well?
Absolutely.
No, I wish.
So good.
Good series.
Did you see the latest one?
Yeah, I'm
She
well
got her
up to
eyes
date.
back.
So what is it? Is it on HBO? Is that what it's on?
HBO Max for you.
HBO Max. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta get HBO Max. I've been delaying myself from getting it.
Hasn't it? It's come in with a pretty reasonable price point, hasn't it? Isn't that less than $10 American?
I think it's here. I think it's like 13 or something.
Yeah, right.
Maybe 14 or something. I don't know. I remember it being like, well, it's on the cusp of me waiting and then binging a bunch of crap on it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm $15. Oh God, I'm gonna watch 100 movies in 1 week. Get my $15 worth. I think it was called Beyond the Boundary, the ICC Women's T20 World Cup Australia 2020. It's like a documentary. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's what it was.
Cool.
That'd be wild if it's not on Australian Netflix, but it's on American. But I'll look it up and see if it's there. What'd you say? Beyond the Boundary.
Beyond the Boundary.
As I'm sure you're now aware, the boundary is the rope around the edge where you can score runs.
Sixes.
Oh, yeah, it's on there.
No, I still don't know. There's the outside part, and then there's a sticky wicket, something with somebody's ball.
If you roll it along the ground over the boundary, you get 4 runs. If you hit it over the boundary on the full, you get 6 runs.
Nice.
Well, here's the thing: like every time I'm up there, it goes right out the boundary every time. Every time I'm up, one swing. That's it. Boom. It's over the fence. Set. I guess they give me 7 points. That's how impressive it is. They're like, fuck, give him an extra one. He's that good.
Some of the
I've hit
forms
quite a
of
few sixes in my time, but also I've been caught on the boundary a few times as well.
right.
Oh, never. I play strong. I play strong defense while playing offense. If somebody's out there and they try to catch my ball, I run over there and slap the mitt.
You throw the bat at them.
Yep, I knock them down. I tackle them. Yeah, football style. I bring the American
NFL style.
Yeah, I bring the American aspect to the game that they don't even know what to do. That's why I get extra points.
Nice.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a game that we used
sometimes
to play.
they just award my team an extra 21 just because I'm there, just because I'm present.
Up.
Yep. Yeah. It's a big handicap that the other team's got to play against, and rarely, if ever, do they overcome it. Yeah.
We used to play a game called Rugby Basketball,
right?
Where it was like basketball, but there was full body contact and tackles and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Been there.
The batting forms are really reminiscent of sword fighting. some of the strikes that they make, it's just like, wow, put a sword in that guy's hands, and
Yeah, it makes sense.
your batting technique could really translate back into some brutal combat sports, like I think it's called M1, where they do the Armored Combat League. It's big with the medieval combat reenactment people, but they have mad brawls where they're fully armored and go at each other. Epic to watch. No one gets hurt though, so it takes a bit of the fun away.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Oh, boring.
Yeah.
No flesh wounds.
Yeah.
Just a scratch.
Oh, it was but a scratch.
That's right. It's only a flesh wound.
It's only a flesh wound.
I had that in a trivia question the other day because I do daily trivia questions on the internet, and yeah, one of them was, which movie is famous for the line, "'Twas just a scratch"?
'Twas just a scratch.
I'm fairly sure that's the way they worded it.
Man,
Yeah.
when
Of course
is
not.
this
Fucking
nail
hologram.
gun gonna come out?
Crikey, one week you're looking at release dates for cameras. The next week you're looking at release dates for nail guns. You're so versatile.
Yeah, I need a new finishing nail gun for some trim work, and I don't want to buy an air one because I want to get a battery operated one, and DeWalt hasn't released it yet for some reason, even though last year they said they're like, here it is, here's the product, but they haven't released it yet. Here we are, like 8 months later. Like, is this coming out? Like, what's
Chip shortage.
going on here, guys?
Artist impressions.
It's probably chip shortage, or I don't know, something.
Yeah,
some nonsense.
Yeah.
Well, they released
electronic
these
chip shortage.
Well, they released these new batteries, and that's all their thing right now is these new batteries. Oh my God, get these new batteries, guys! And it's like, I already have batteries. I don't need new batteries. Put out a
I
tool.
already spent $400 building up my battery collection. Why do you make me spend another $400?
Yeah, I don't need other batteries now. I need the tool. I need that tool. It's the little tiny, like 23 gauge one for putting up like trim and stuff around doorways and kick trim and stuff like that.
Fancy nail gun.
The thing is, like, I don't want to take my air compressor anywhere because I had to take my air compressor from the job site to home today, and it was just another reminder of like hoses, air compressor, extension cord.
Yeah, bullshit.
Like, this is just
Workplace health and
nonsense.
safety, bro.
Huh?
Yeah.
Workplace health and safety. You can't have cords and hoses all over the bloody joint.
It's just nonsense, man. It's just and it's
Get
heavy.
shut down here.
Fucking thing weighs like 110 pounds or something. It's ridiculous. And like, load it into my truck, drive it home.
Yeah.
I got a guy coming by to do some exterior work tomorrow on the house that I didn't want to do. And he's like, "Oh, I don't have any hoses or an air compressor." It's like, all right, I'll bring mine home. But I don't feel like freezing my fingers off. And he's like, down to hang out on a ladder out in the fucking snow, nailing up some siding. And yeah, that works for me, I guess. I don't know.
You just wanted the DeWalt one because you've already got their batteries? Is that why you're chasing that brand?
Well, my tools are DeWalt. Yeah.
Right. So it's
get a sponsorship from them.
Yeah. I've tried. I have tried. Their competitor, the I can't remember the name of their competitor. They were going to sponsor a project that we were going to do 2 years ago with
Hitachi?
Robert down in Florida. No, it's the professional. Oh God, what is the name of it?
Steel?
No, it's
Toshiba.
Hold on.
Hyundai. Yamaha.
I can't remember.
Samurai.
I think it's
Mitsubishi.
Milwaukee.
No, it's the green one. It's the it's their
John Deere.
It's like Home Depot's professional brand. I can't remember the name of it. It's not Husky.
Husqvarna.
Husqvarna, because I don't
Husqvarna.
want another chainsaw. That was one of my favorite taglines.
I don't
ever
know.
in a-
I can't think of the name of it. It's dark green, whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever.
Singer.
It's their like industrial brand of tooling. Anyhow, whatever. It doesn't matter now. But the whole point of the story is that they were going to sponsor a project down in Florida. To basically, we were going to remodel an old house and set up a fish room and stuff, and they were going to sponsor that. And then COVID hit, and it was like, no, we're not doing that now. It's like, cool, yep. So yeah, I mean, I've there's been multiple times where I was like on the verge of hitting I don't know, hitting's not the right word, but getting a reasonable sponsorship that would allow me a good amount of time to work on like YouTube video projects and stuff like that. But they've fallen through, and it is what it is. So
Yeah.
G'day,
Guys-
Lockhart. Thanks. Welcome.
Hello. I gotta bounce. It's been lovely being on the stream again.
Yeah.
2 weeks
Thanks
in
for
a row.
being out, dude. Have fun
I'll
with
keep
old
the streak
mate.
going. Yeah, it should be good. Should be good.
Say
Listen.
hi for me.
Oh, you've never met him before. What did I do that for? I'm telling him to watch the show. Yeah.
You might
Oh.
appreciate.
it's
Yeah.
sorry, the name of the brand is Metabo. If you guys are
Metabo.
familiar with
Okay, yeah,
Metabo.
Never
we
heard
get
of
them down here.
Yeah.
Never heard of it. Right, see you guys. Take
All right,
it easy.
Take it easy,
Don't-
dude.
See you
Bye-bye.
later. Bye.
So yeah, like Metabo tools are like the Hitachi's Pro brand that like the Home Depot uses as their like industrial tool, basically. It's like their industrial brand. Are they the best tools? I don't know, but they were going to sponsor the damn thing, so it was like a good amount of money plus use all their tools and stuff, and that fell through because of COVID, man. So that was it. But yeah, I currently use DeWalt tools. DeWalt tools are what I use. It's what I've used for a long time. I'm invested in their batteries and stuff, so there's really no real reason for me to switch. Plus, their new like Atomic line is smaller, lighter, and works really well. They're innovating on a regular basis. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, it makes sense when you're using tools on a regular basis to go with a quality product instead of something that's going to, die at a professional level after a month or two.
Right. And it's one of those things that like I've worked with guys that go both directions. There are guys that go my direction. They invest in like quality tools. They know they're going to work. They have like one battery line. So my batteries work with all my tools. I don't have to like look around for a red battery or a green battery or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
But I've also worked with guys that are like, they go to Harbor Freight and buy the $20
Cheapest
nail
shit
gun.
they can find.
Yeah. And they're like, well, I could just buy like 10 of these and break them over and over again or lose them or whatever. And, it's just a personal preference. Some guys like creating a whole lot of extra waste and garbage and stuff in the dump. So
Just
Yeah.
to save a few bucks.
yeah, I find it to be a waste of time. It's to me, it's like a waste of time and energy, like replacing crappy tools all the time. Just like
I
going over,
think,
just going over to the store to like get more crappy tools. It's like, it's just a waste of time.
Yeah, I think power tools are very similar with musical instruments, is that you don't
Right.
really want to be working with the cheapest, worst musical instrument you can because
Mhm.
it's going to sound shit and not perform how you want it to do.
Yeah, and you don't need the Ferrari. Like, you don't need like a 56 Stratocaster or something to play guitar, right? But like,
I got a 92 Stratocaster.
well, that's fine. You know, okay, let me rephrase it. You don't need $100,000 guitar to play guitar well.
Yeah.
But a $5 guitar is probably gonna sound pretty shitty. You know, like it just kind of is.
If it even
right?
sounds at all.
Yeah. If it's not broken already, right?
Yeah.
And delaminated and falling apart.
It says you need custom tools made out of vibranium.
It's true.
Or what's the other one? Unobtainium. That's
Unobtainium. Yeah,
one of the
unobtainium.
best metal names ever.
Yeah. That's
Thanks,
legit.
Avatar.
Did we ever figure out if we liked Boba Fett or not?
I think we figured out that we both liked it, but I think we both also figured out that we were slightly disappointed in the finale.
I think we were both fairly disappointed in the finale.
I
It's
think we would have
unfortunate because like Robert Rodriguez is the only one that could like ruin that. And I mean, sorry, let me
That's what I was
rephrase
going to
that.
say. I think we would have all been much happier if Bryce Dallas Howard even directed that episode,
Right.
because anything possibly would have been better than Rodriguez's effort.
You know, I hadn't thought of it this way, but like a lot of the storyline sort of lost its oomph by the end. And I
With
wasn't
the
really
diversions.
Yeah, you know, it was kind of one of those things where I think it was good that the Mandalorian came along. You probably didn't need the Luke stuff in there. You didn't need the Grogu stuff in there. You could have easily just put that into the Mandalorian. But I've also heard people that are like, it's the Book of Boba Fett, but it's the Mandalorian series,
Mando
right?
2.5.
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing is that like the Book of Boba Fett, it's literally like this is just the Book of Boba Fett that is in the Mandalorian timeline. So I could see where people were coming from that were like, oh, they should have been incorporated the way that they were, because they're not like separate. They're not like a separate series. It's all just a part of the Mandalorian series, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense, because then you could do the Book of Boca, what's her name? Boca Raton.
Ahsoka.
No, what's her?
Boca
Boca Raton. Yeah. You could do the book of her, and follow some other Mandalorians along the way and do some other seasons to kind of like fill in those kind of character arcs also while doing the Mandalorian at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
Without getting just totally stagnated on only one character, which kind of makes sense, you know. I was thinking about it in those terms, and I was like, okay, I could see how that would make sense. Bo-Katan. Yeah, I always say Boca Raton, the Mexican city.
G'day, Gaffer.
But you know, I just think like it was missing a lot of the oomph at the end. You know, like Cad Bane. The Cad Bane fight was like super short. Didn't make any sense.
Way too brief.
You know, it was way too brief. Like they just kind of like threw it in at the end. Like, oh yeah,
one of the galaxy's greatest fighters, and he was finished up so quick. Spoiler alert! Sorry for those who haven't seen it yet, but far out. That was the most disappointing thing, is that we didn't get to see him do a massive big biff. But fingers crossed, he finds himself a back to tank and someone carts him away, even though he's had some big thing through his chest.
Right. I think that's that's most likely going to be the reasoning behind that fight being so quick, is that
Just
he's not dead.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like the finale. And I think they wanted to test him to see people's interest, but it's like,
good point.
Which, you know, is sad, but it is part of the business that like you do have to kind of get a vibe on like who really is piquing people's curiosity and stuff, and like who they would actually want to,
especially a character like that's only been seen in animated series, and obviously is going to be the subject to a lot of viewers' criticisms when he shows up in a live action, whether they did the character justice and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah, it's absolutely. I think what you say is that they're gauging a reaction from the crowd, and I think for the most part, a lot of people were pretty impressed. There was obviously a few naysayers. There's always going to be a few that
Right.
didn't like how he was presented. I think it was done awesomely. He's still one of my favorite Star Wars characters ever.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. I love the old Western cowboy aspect to him that Dave Filoni brought to him in the Clone Wars and stuff.
Right.
Dave Filoni was already over the whole Western aspect in the Clone Wars with Bane.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think I don't know if it's like directly attributed to him, but I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I heard an interview where they were talking about The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That old Western, and him going
Which
like
you cannot.
him
Do you
going
know?
like, yeah,
you
that was a
cannot
huge.
stream that movie for free. Still, that
you
whole
can't?
trilogy, you have to pay for the fucking thing.
Oh, you do in Australia?
Yeah, can you get it for free over there?
Yeah, we watched it a while back. Well,
Can you
it's
just
been a
hold-
while.
Can you,
It's been a while since we watched it, but we just streamed it. Yeah, so
can you just watch it again and hold your mobile phone up and send me the video that you capture, so I don't have to pay the $4.99 for each film?
you just gotta get a VPN, man, and change your status to American or whatever.
Oh, yeah. And what's it
Yeah.
on in America that's free?
I think you know what? It must have been on either Netflix or Disney Plus or Amazon. One of those three. Because we watched it in the living room. So that means those were the three that are on that TV.
Yeah, right.
So-
I love that trilogy, and then there's the fourth one as well. That's not always considered part of the trilogy, but
No, it's just out
I
there.
think
What is
I'll
it?
just
It's
buy the bullet and pay for it.
which one's number 4? It's like Mule for Sarah or whatever.
Some nun. Yeah, Mule for Sarah, I think it's
Yeah.
called. She was a nun or something.
Yeah, the Mule.
No, don't worry about that, Gaffer. I'll just buy the bullet and pay for it. I'm sure it's only like $4 a film or something. I'm not that.
Yeah, it's
bloody hard.
it's two mules for Sister Sarah. That's what it is.
2 mules. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sister Sarah. That's right. I knew there was a nun reference in there somehow. S, I'm going to give you another opportunity to try and spell that right. But yeah, they certainly went out in a bad way. Not deserved. They were good boys, those Gamorrean guards. Or Gamorrean, if you like.
Yeah, why did they just get thrown off the cliff? Like, what was that all about? Yeah, it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon. So
what is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
What's his name? Sergio Leone.
Yeah, they're all of his movies are rentals on Amazon down here. Any one of Leone's movies that I want to watch, I have to pay a few bucks for. I've got to start biting bullets, I think, and spend some money. There you go, S. Well done, lad. Well done.
You may have
Copy
to.
and paste from Google. Yeah,
it was weird. It, like the thing about the final the final episode there, you know, like on my second thinkings, you know, a lot of the storyline just didn't make a lot of sense. A lot of the fights were foreshortened and also like didn't make a whole lot of sense and stuff. But you know, overall, like I definitely like the work that they're putting in and the product that's coming out. So, you know, I think most everything is like, man, I didn't really like the way that went, but you know, when somebody's telling a story, you just kind of go with it, right?
Yeah, and I also went back to the feeling that you know, maybe it was deliberate because they want people going, oh, that just wasn't quite enough, so I need to watch Mando season 3, or I need to watch Obi-Wan when it comes
Right.
out and stuff.
I'm interested as to like what is going to happen with the Obi-Wan situation. Like, I don't know.
Yes, that's eagerly anticipated by my brain as well. That whole show.
Mhm. Hey,
It will be something I'll be anticipating to one day. How are you guys?
what's going on?
Good mate, how are you?
Not bad. Just back from work and stuff and turning fish tank lights on.
Work? What does that taste like?
I don't know. Tastes like effort. Tastes like blood and sweat, so it's not very yummy.
Heard that.
What was the brand you were talking about before with the power tools?
Metabo.
Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. I'm like, it's one of the green ones, and people are like Hitachi, and I'm like, that's not what it is. It's something but I was having a brain fart because I don't ever use those tools, and I have used them, and the reason that we were going to be doing that is like I said, we'd worked out a sponsorship deal where they were gonna sponsor that project, and
Is that the co-op or?
no, it was Metabo and Home Depot and a window company that also escapes my mind. But it was stuff got canceled because of COVID, and we didn't do it. So
Well, that's not fun.
yeah,
Arlo off. Sorry. My dog's got a very unique injury, and there is pus coming from somewhere you really wouldn't want it to come from.
From
I've
the
got to
date?
keep No,
I mean,
the other, the Audi, not the innie.
That's what the date is, mate. The date is the bumhole.
No, no. The other side.
Oh, the dick. the lipstick. The red rocket.
the rocket.
That one.
Oh, if
So,
unless it's a girl.
I'm just trying to keep him off all the furniture.
Yeah, Grace.
Lucky, this little guy.
Like, I
Loves
thought you were going
to
to
eat
say, lucky
medicine.
I've got a bandage and some masking tape.
No, I went to the vet yesterday, got antibiotics, but he's the first dog I've ever had that you just go, all right, I'll try and just give him the medicine, and he just eats it like they're dog biscuits. I'm like, oh, that's not hard at all. He even
Bonus.
sits for it.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe someone made dog flavored medicine, not dog food flavored medicine. They're like, oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, but even some of those ones that I've had before that are like squishy, meaty tablets, and you put it towards the dog's face and they still turn their face away. So you've got to like wrap it up in a plastic cheese slice or something for them to be entertained by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or massage it down their throat. I've had to do that with my old beagle.
Yeah. How much fun is that?
It's for your
And then
own
you've got
good.
to monitor it for like 7 minutes to make sure they don't just cough it back up.
Yep. That's always great too. Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
And then when they cough it back up, you fucking make them eat it.
Eat it again. Eat it again, dog. Eat it. It's for your
Second
own good.
time's a charm.
Yeah, well, it is the life, man, being a pet owner.
And the dog's just sitting there going, I've got all day. I can do this all day. And you're like, fuck,
Yeah.
I've got to get to work and do this. In fact, I'm quite enjoying the attention.
That's probably what it comes down to,
This
isn't
is
it?
a lot of fun.
Lapping it up.
It's too
What's been going on, Joshua?
good. Just been working on my dad's affairs, trying to get things in order, and Harry's been home sick all week, and just doing a COVID test every day to make sure that it's not COVID, but it's not COVID apparently. So just time is occupying itself, and I'm just
the Victorian schools are providing parents with COVID tests for their kids, aren't they? And is
yeah.
it
So you get like Yeah, a
it
pack of
daily?
5 of them a week.
Or is it? Yeah, once a day.
Oh, sorry, it
you
wouldn't be
test.
every week. Sorry, it might be every couple of weeks. But yeah, but we're meant to test Monday morning and Wednesday morning, and if we're all good, then they can go. But no, he's got a cough. He's got all the symptoms, but
Not testing positive.
not testing positive. And then I sent him to school anyway today. I was like, well, if you can play Fortnite and yell that loudly yesterday, then you can't be too bad. But no, apparently he is too bad.
Yeah, they send him home as soon as they've got a cough or anything, don't they? Any
Yeah,
symptom.
exactly.
Mhm.
Which is kind of frustrating when you're trying to work.
I got to admit, like, yeah, but even before COVID, they were doing that. I mean,
Yeah, true.
they're just like, hey, your kid's sick. We're sending them home, whether you like it or not, and
Yeah.
you have to quit your job now because your kid's gonna be at your house, and
You know those school fees that you paid? Well,
it's that whole
good
yeah,
news, you don't need to pay them anymore, so quit your job.
yeah, exactly. It's that like, do you like your house or do you like your job? Because one of them is going to be gone now.
What do you-
Yeah, I have twin sons in Victoria, so they're going through the same stuff. All the
Right.
paper tests and the regular.
Well, I think the weirder thing is even like Olivia's daycare, her preschool,
There's none in here.
that like the whole place shut down because somebody got COVID. You know, so they shut the whole place down for 2 weeks. Look at that light. That light is broken.
I know. I was looking at that too, thinking, who's throwing some shit at that? Surely that can't
Man.
be part of its design.
I hope not. If it is, that's a poor design.
Nah, Josh cracked the shit one night and threw a ball at it.
Yep. All right, brother. I got like bedtime ringing at me. So
Righto.
one love, baby. One love.
You take care, work well, and all that good stuff. Stay
Oh,
healthy.
sure. Tell Joshua I said bye, and everybody else.
All right. I think you're still on speaker, so we can hear you. But yeah.
See ya.
Dude, you're on speaker, bro.
Sorry, I was just feeding the kid. Apparently, you got to do that too.
Oh,
So they reckon. I reckon that the less you feed them, the more self-sufficiency they learn.
that's
I
true.
just don't want you get into trouble if you don't feed them. It's my choice. It's my kid. Nah, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Let me parent how I want to parent.
But I'm in charge. All right, boys. I'll holler at you next week.
Have a good night.
Bye bye.
See you.
soon.
So, how's your week been?
Oh, wet, humid. It's just
Oh, it's
almost constant
muggy.
rain. We've had about 6 days of rain, but one day in the middle where it was just brutal hot sun, which of course made it very sweaty and gross.
Yep. Yeah, we're
Sorry, BJ. Sarah left. She had to go because her kids came home from school.
yeah, she's got to go when the bus comes. Is that right?
What?
She needs to leave when the bus turns up. Yeah.
Oh, not really.
Well, that's the story.
Prefers to be available to them when they make it to the house to, converse about the day's occurrences and whatnot.
That is her alibi.
Yeah, I think they call it an easy out.
Yes.
No good.
I like easy outs.
Easy ins are just as fun.
Ooh. Yeah, we what time is it? God. I finished the video for tonight. I finished that last night. So it's I was like, this is good. I'm like, feel good to be back in that rhythm of doing a video each week and not doing that. Trying to do a video each week and catching your videos again and a bit more normality to life again.
Very good.
I got this little as a UN systems canister filter. There's a hair.
So look at this little wild grey one that's sticking out on its own. probably wouldn't have recognized it if I wasn't on television. Gone.
Yeah, I got a UN Systems canister filter. I'll show you actually how big it is. It's Ultim Nature Systems, and I'll turn the camera around. No, I'll turn it off. How do I turn it around?
Yeah, exactly, Gaffer. Where in the handbook does it say you've got to feed your kids? They always leave that bit out.
Front facing, facing back. There it is. Yeah, see this thing?
Oh, wow.
But you can use. It can be
Hang
a
on the side canister.
Yeah, hang on back canister, and like that's how big it is. So it'll do up to 100-litre tank. So I'm putting it on. I'll show you. Sorry, talking about fish. How stupid of me.
Wild concept.
Putting it on this tank, which is starting to come along. Oh,
yeah, it's coming along nice.
Yeah. So that's what I'm working on. It's ready to flood. I've been running that. Running that one on the Endler tank for like 6 weeks to build up that bacteria, so that the tank will be pretty much. Yeah, I'm sure that I'll fill it and I'll get all these crazy parameters that'll kill off a lot of bacteria to begin with. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to do that sort of next week. So I've been working on that for like months. So to get it to this stage is pretty cool.
Yeah, Gaffy, you need big filters for turtles if you're not going to do bloody every other day water changes. Those things are filthy.
Oh, here we go. Sorry, I haven't said hello to anyone in the chat because I didn't.
Very inefficient digestive systems on turtles, so they pass through most of what they eat.
Is that true? Is it?
It's true with a lot of slow-moving reptiles and mammals. They've got very inefficient digestive systems. Sloths are a prime example. Terribly inefficient creatures, yet still they survive. How do you explain that, Charles Darwin?
And they do. They're very successful at doing it too.
They are.
I did have turtles for like a year involuntarily. Someone said, what were they doing? I think they were driving across the Nullarbor to Perth. They were going to be gone for 3 weeks. And said, can you watch the turtles? I'll just bring the tank over and we'll just put it in the spare room and fill it up. And that's all. I should have really been a bit of a hint then. And they didn't come back for over a year. And I just all of a sudden had these turtles. And my wife's like, what are we doing with these? Like, it was actually her stepdad's. And I'm like, I don't know. They're his. I said I'd look after them, but I didn't know I inherited them. But they're pretty cool. I'd get them out of the tank like once a week and let them walk around the house. Harry'd love one, but he wouldn't feed it.
Yeah, I hatched 9 eastern sawshell turtles as a teenager in a small tank and then kept them for quite a long time before I released them back into the creek here.
That's cool. So how did you get 9 eggs? You found them at the
we'd recently done some filling in of holes and stuff around the retaining walls and stuff.
Yeah.
And where I found the eggs was like a good 5 meters above the creek level. So the turtles had gone to some extra amazing effort to climb way up there to drop some eggs. And I don't even know why I was digging in the dirt, but I found all these eggs and I just put them in this little tiny tank that I had. And then one day I stumbled out and thought, who put these rocks in my tank? There's all these extra rocks, and there was 9 baby turtles in there. So at the time I had a normal sized 4-foot aquarium that had I already had 2 turtles at the time in there, and I put all the babies in there, and then just 11 turtles in a 4-foot tank was a little bit over the top. So eventually, I just released them all into the wild, let them go, and then moved on to fish. Oh, that's a nice angle.
That's really cool. That's what I had as a 4-foot tank.
I feel like I'm an enema.
You're an enema of the state. Have you had this stuff yet?
What is it? Soda and lime.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a huge fan of Canadian Club, but I've certainly had some of it.
It just tastes like soda water. It's nice and just nice and cold and real, just good wind down before you wind up later.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag we are unsponsored. I have to do it every time I'm on. No. Every time I get home from work, I have to do it. That's how well I'm sponsored.
You got to build up the kudos before they forward the cash.
I did a video on Instagram of me, going from the top down and then panning out to show what it was, and it had over like 5,000 views like straight away. I was like, what the hell? Which is pretty cool.
Just because you're drinking Canadian Club? Is that what you put it down to?
No, I think it was because I tagged. There's friends of a friend have a glass company, so they make beer glasses or beer, called Boomstick, and they do like a different design every now and then. I can't bloody find my other one. I'll show you this one. So they like make all these big cool. Wrong way.
I'll hit you with my boomstick.
Yeah, and they do different things.
Wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to remember.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes, it was Duke Nukem. Chat's going to that.
Can someone please confirm? But anyway, sorry, I tagged them in it because they did one with the hazy squid. So it's like this cool beer glass, and it's got this big squid on it, and then it's got it's almost really fitting for Aquamate because it's kind of aquatic themed. So then they jumped on it, and then the hazy squid jumped on it, and I think that's what happened. But still, it's also Instagram. If you do a video, like a short reel on Instagram, and just put it out there, it just goes bang. Like, it will get way more views than anything on YouTube quickly, and and then it might die after a week, whereas YouTube might go bang after a week.
Yeah, true. Yeah, Ballspace says he had a turtle for 13 years. Unfortunate what happened to that turtle, Ballspace.
I'm missing something, aren't I?
Oh, Ballspace, he's my nephew.
Oh,
he had a turtle called Yoda for a long time, and then when he had to move in with my folks for a little while, the turtle got housed at where I was at the time in a bathtub, and got away, escaped once, and I sprung it when it was escaping and put it back, and then unfortunately I didn't get it the second time, so fingers crossed it made it down to the creek and is procreating with the eastern saw shells, because I think they were compatible breeds to hybridize, so potentially
make your own baby Yoda.
That's right, wasn't it? Ballspace. It was called Yoda, wasn't it? I'm sure it was.
Hey, Vince said, did he say rated for 100-litre tank that is only like, 29 gallon? I think you're spot on there. It seems like it should be good for much more, maybe I misheard. No, like It's not that big. It's pretty small. That's the thing. There are different ones. That's the 60. I don't know why they call it a 60. But there's a 90 and a 120 and a 150 or something like that, I think. So you can get bigger versions, but the bigger versions you can't hang on the back. I hate canister filters. This one here has stumped me. It just sits there now. There is no filtration in this tank. It does my head in.
What's going on with it?
It's just if I plug it in, it just makes a lot of noise, and it never gets the air out. And I try and prime it, and I try and prime it, and then it's like it works for a bit, and then it just stops not doing it again. So
As in, it's got a primer button on it
yeah,
that you jam down. Have you tried shaking the shit out of it?
Yeah, so if I hold that down, you can see it's working. Can you see if it's working? Oh, I've got that.
I can hear that it's working. I can't see that it's working, but I can certainly hear. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, I've bloody got all these other things open on my phone now. We'll try and let it go, but it's a big waste because I've got this big, expensive bloody CO2 set for it, and it's an inline CO2 diffuser.
Yeah, right.
And it's not working. I'm hoping I'm actually going on the rule of me complaining about it, that maybe it'll start working.
Yeah, sometimes I've found with canisters that they do get air trapped in them, so I like to put my hand on the top of it and then give it a good horizontal shaking.
Yep.
To try and loosen some of those air bubbles that might be trapped in there somewhere. Might be worth a shot.
I might try that and try and pull it apart. The big problem with it is the behind the tank. There's like that much room, and the tubes running to the inlet and outlet are pretty much at full stretch. So, like, I don't have a lot of room to move when it's to change things around. But
no
if I go,
jiggle room.
yeah, no jiggle room. You can see there, like at the end, the water's coming in. But yeah.
What on earth is that above it? You got Daddy Longlegs in there.
Yeah.
You have to.
He's in there trying to get him. He's probably bloody cleaning up on all the bugs that come in here for the lights.
Yeah, I've got I get geckos non-stop hanging around my outside tanks.
Yeah.
It's like a gecko party at night time when the lights are on and all the bugs are coming in.
Yeah, I could imagine. Did I tell you about the huntsman the other day?
No.
I'll tell you, and then I've got to go out the front because someone's out here waiting for the Acclimate premiere. One of my neighbours comes over and watches the premiere every Wednesday. So it was on the Monday. I got in the car to go it was the Tuesday after Super Bowl, and got in the car to take Harry to school, and I look at my door and there's a huntsman like as big as my face. Huge huntsman on the door, and I was like, oh, okay, that's a bit freaky. So I'm scared of spiders, but not like silly scared. Like, I know a huntsman's not really going to do anything, but still don't want it near me. So I just reach out to sort of just swipe down and get it off the door, and I miss because I was probably like doing these things. And then so the spider goes, "What's this idiot doing?" and then runs into my air conditioner, and I'm like, "Oh no, how am I going to get him out of there?" So I'm like, I get out of the car. Harry gets out of the car. I just walk around the car, the front of the car, back and forth, just swearing. And Harry's like, "Dad, I'm late for school." I'm like, "Just like, give me a minute." Then I was like, "Oh, forget it." Get in the car, take Harry, drop him off. I come back home. and I like spray the car full of fly spray.
Shit.
And then I just like pump the aircon. So I'm like, all right, this thing's going to be gone. Because I had to drive 250 kilometers that day. So it was like, I had half an hour up my sleeve. Then I really had to go. So I just get in the car and I'm like, nah, can't find him anywhere. So I'm just driving around, just staring at my air conditioner vents, going, it's going to honestly, as I'm driving, this little spider, it was almost as big as my hand, was now a face hugger from Aliens. I was just like, it's going to jump out. It's just going to grab me. And then nothing. And I was like, okay. So the next day I get in the car and I'm looking around everywhere. I'm like, is he anywhere? Couldn't see him. Still driving around, looking at my air conditioner vents. And then Thursday I kind of forgot about him. And then Friday I go to a customer's house. I walk in and I'm talking to her and we're looking at the air conditioners and stuff. And I just feel this little tickle on my shoulder. And I was just like, what's that? And then as I do that, I'm like, whoa, I hear something big then. And she's talking to me and I'm like, I can't freak out because I'm not thinking about the spider at all. I just look down and next to my foot is this unscrew just sitting there. So I think he'd got into my workbooks and then I picked them up when I've gone into the customer and he's gone, why is this moving around? So he's crawled up my back and then slowly made his way to my elbow. So she's looked at it and gone, that's not real, is it? And I was like, yeah, let me tell you a story about him. We just chuck a glass over him and I'm like, I'll put him outside for you. I don't like killing them. As long as you're okay with that. She's like, no, I don't like killing them either. I'll do it. And I'm like, all right, you can do it, whatever. I get back in the car and I was like, that dude's been with me for like 4 days.
And through all the fly spray.
Oh, that was pretty stressful that week. It's pretty funny though.
Looks like Vince is backing up my story of shaking the top as well.
Yeah, okay.
It's been a very, very handy thing to do with canister filters in my history.
You know what'll happen? I'll shake it and something will dislodge and then it'll start flooding the laundry.
Or a huntsman will come climbing out of it.
Daddy Longlegs has got him, yeah. Oh, it worked. I think it worked.
Yeah, I think that not all people that design aquarium filters are aeronautical engineers, so they don't understand air pockets and stuff like that.
No. It worked though. We'll see how long it works. I'll let you know if it keeps going. But
sometimes you've got to jiggle the air bubbles out. Now, a popular question in the chat has been, what happened to your light fitting?
Oh, yeah, I didn't put the thing down there, didn't I? What?
Were you kicking the footy inside again?
No. So we got 3. And Harry and the neighbour's kid stood up on here, and the neighbour's kid just smacked his head into it and smashed it.
With his head?
And he doesn't work. So he still hasn't been able to pay for a new one yet. No, they're discontinued. So now we've got to change all of it. And I'm like, well, I don't know what we want. So not only do we have to change it, then I'd probably need a Sparky to install. I'm like, so this has really turned into a costly issue.
Get that kid a job ASAP.
Yeah, well, I can't see the question. I would have set the car on fire and then called the insurance company spider clause. Now, actually, I was giving my friends like running commentary because I was like, all right, so this has happened, and they were all pretty much of the consensus, let's just burn the car. Cut out losses. No killing, just getting it high and fly. Yeah, well, I didn't want to kill it, but it could have killed me in that it might have startled me at a really bad time while I was driving. Inside the house, no problem. I had one the other day, and I just went up and grabbed him with bit of paper and a glass, sneak him into that and put him out the back.
It's just that surprise element that gets you the most
Yeah, exactly.
when they just appear and go.
I got to go because I got to go and man the chat room for the premiere.
Do you want to? What's your premiere about today? Let's go through all that stuff and see if we can't get a link in the chat for your premiere in a few minutes.
Is anyone else in the chat realised that I told Dr. Black all of that about 10 minutes ago? And it's the unboxing of that filter. So, yeah, I just pull it out, unboxed, and you can see there's like a whole bunch of different things, like ways you can set it up, which is really cool.
To be fair, I did go and do a wee while you were talking about that. I think.
Oh, maybe that's why I just kept going on about it, and I was like, he's not saying anything. Yeah, so we're just doing the unboxing and just give an honest opinion of what I think of it. They're $135. Like, don't just skip the video because I'm saying it here, but like, yeah, $135. So I think it's really good value, and I don't reckon I'd buy another hang on back where they're around. It is a little bit more expensive, obviously, but for a hang on back for a 100-litre tank, it's probably going to be $80, $90. But yeah. So I think GRB's put a thing in there earlier, if you scroll up. Otherwise, I can jump in the chat and do that. Yeah, there we go.
Yes, he has. Well done. Yeah, because I still forget that every time I enter Acclimate into just Google instead of YouTube, I get all of these vacuum cleaner head attachment ads. I can't believe they're still going after all these years.
I know it's funny. I mean, I can understand how that works because they've got some really big videos. But if you type in Acclimate in YouTube, they don't come up. But
yeah,
my
it's
channel comes
weird,
up
isn't it?
because I was always watching. Like, how long would that take for that to happen? But yeah, we'll get there. We're not too far down, I don't think.
Yeah, I've always found it funny that if you search it in Google, you get the vacuum cleaner ads. But if you search it and in all the Google responses are YouTube videos, but if you search it in YouTube, you get you.
Yeah, it's funny how it works, isn't it? Maybe
Fun. Yeah, that's a good.
they might
word
get
for it.
views, but we've got a lot more interaction because we're chatting and commenting and stuff. But yes,
Yeah, well,
if you're free,
How
jump
many
over and
people
say
are
hello.
watching vacuum cleaner videos and having a chat about it? Not me.
Hey, it could be a new niche.
One way to find out. Next
Awesome.
week, Acclimate's premiere will be
About
the Dyson 747.
the inspiration behind the name. All right. I'll see you over there. Thank you for having me, and I'll try and catch you at the end of your stream again next week.
No worries at all. Anytime, any place, preferably right here.
Awesome. Thank you. See you guys.
All right. Take it easy. We'll see you in a few minutes. All right, everyone. I'm super busting for a piss and a fresh drink, so I'm going to call it quits so we can all be relaxed and comfortable for Acclimate's premiere. I'm kind of interested in that filter, though, because I like the idea of a hang-on-the-back type canister filter. Kind of space-saving. Kind of, I guess. I suppose we'll watch the video and find out. What am I following along, Vince? Acclimate's video. Yeah, I'll be there for that. If that's what you're talking about, I'm going to go and do that. As long as I empty my bladder and roll a cigarette and make a fresh drink, and I will be there. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. Replay Team 6. You know who you are. If you made it this far, you know already you're a lunatic. What are we at? 3 hours again. Jesus Christ, I've got to stop this somehow. Got to stop bloody 3-hour live streams. They're not worth it. I'll just get too drunk by the end. all these beverages and stuff. Maybe I'll change the name, and a 3-hour live stream won't get me so drunk. But anyway, time will tell. Time will tell. Thanks, GRB. And was there another mod here today? I don't think there was another mod. GRB, you were sole mod today. I don't think Rids showed up. Rids might have had to go to bed. Good to see everyone as per usual. Thanks heaps for hanging out. Look after yourselves this week. It's going to be a rough week for those that don't look out for themselves. Take that as you will. Take it easy, everyone. Did I say thanks, GRB? I think I did. Have another one, GRB. Two's. The second one's free. You know, do all that normal stuff you do. Keep it real, everyone. And I'll see yous when I'm looking at yous, of course.